You know, Tony, I think when people tuned in to What Happened When today, they were expecting me to shill really, really hard for Starrcast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here goes. Now, not only can you get the show live and on demand in glorious HD, you can win a trip to Las Vegas. We're calling it the High Roller Contest, Tony. Have you heard about this?
The High Roller Contest?
Yeah, check it out.
Please tell, yeah.
All you've got to do is order Starrcast on Fight at starrcastonfight.com. You're going to get more than 20 live stage shows, nearly 40 hours worth of content for one low price, only $59. And as long as you order before midnight on April 23rd, you'll lock in that great price, but you'll automatically be entered into this High Roller Contest. Now, what does that mean exactly? It means you get 2 round-trip airfares from anywhere in the world for you and a friend to come to Las Vegas. And of course, when you get there, we've got you in a hotel suite for 4 nights. Not only that, you've also got a platinum bracelet to Starrcast, which means you get to see all 22 shows live. But as if that wasn't enough, you get every single meet and greet. If you've seen them advertised, if they're at Starrcast, you're included. You've got that. Plus, you've got VIP to the after party, and the after party for what? Well, Double or Nothing. You're going to that too. It's AEW's very first pay-per-view, and you've got 2 front row tickets. That's right. You heard me right. 2 front row tickets to the biggest show of the year, a platinum band. And how about this? Every single meet and greet, all your hotel expenses covered as well. 4 nights in a hotel suite and 2 round trip tickets from anywhere in the world to Las Vegas. All you've got to do is go to starrcastonfight.com right now and pre-order. And for just $59, you get all the shows. So everybody's a winner. But if we pick your name on April 24th, whew, it's going to be awesome. Check it out. It's starrcastonfight.com. Starrcastonfight.com. There's 2 R's in Starrcast, and fight is FITE. It's starrcastonfight.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett First Arcade, 605 NWA. TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede. Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team. Turner, Bodden, Mid-South Joy World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and Friends North, they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off, center stage, Bischoff. Disney, Hogan, and Nitro. New World Order and the Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules, cat back. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zigg's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chant. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when?
WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
How you doing, buddy?
Man,
Feeling good tonight? Feeling good today? Huh?
Well, I
Doing
survived.
okay?
We survived. WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, boy.
New York City. You know, I can't believe I actually got you out of the house, man. Don't you have baseball?
Yeah, I do, but I was able to. I was unable to do Thursday and Friday, and that's when MLW had their tapings. But I was able to get out Saturday and be at WrestleCon. I was able to spend all WrestleMania Day in the New York area, and then of course for our show on Monday. So we, yeah, man, we did. I survived, and I was able to get out, and I'm going to be able to get out for Starrcast. I'm going to be able to get out for St. Louis and Baltimore coming up. Hopefully, I'll be able to get out when we go to SummerSlam. So a big summer is upon us already, Conrad.
Man, without further ado, let's do it. Let's see if we can't wake up Lois, and let's go to March 29th, 1987, over 93,000 fans at the Silver Dome. WrestleMania III, biggest show ever. You think Lois is willing and able to give us a little countdown?
Well, she's able. I don't know if she's willing. She's kind of mad at us because April 6th was her birthday, and we were in New York at WrestleCon. So she was kind of ticked off with that. And I said, well, you could have come to New York with me. And then she said, nah, I had to pick up the dog hair. So anyway, I hope she's out of her bad mood. And Lois, let's bring you in for the countdown.
So you want me to give you a countdown for Wrestlemania III, which is 31 years old. You're watching 31-year-old matches. All right, I get it. 3, 2, 1, play.
Old school open here, Conrad, with some flying graphics. WrestleMania 3. And when we open up on this, as soon as the graphics finish here, isn't it amazing how the graphics have changed over the years?
I'll tell you, I really like, I don't know why, but that open makes me think of Superman, and I can't figure out why, but I just love the open. And what a wide shot here. What a historic shot. One of the more famous images ever, the really, really wide shot from the top of the Silver Dome. And man, Bruce Pritchard has had a lot of fun making fun of this moment for a long time. He would often say that Vince would tell talent, bring it down a notch. Don't be so over the top. And Bruce would say, yeah, let me show him a video of WrestleMania 3 when you introduced Aretha the Franklin.
Welcome to the XFL.
Oh, they're playing the shit WWE Network music in here with it.
The shit WWE Network music. But he is, by the way, he is going to, as you said, and now, ladies and gentlemen, here is the Queen of Soul with her rendition of America the Beautiful. Here's Aretha Franklin. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, sing it, Tony.
For wrestling fans.
Oh my God.
Who keep old men afloat. For rednecks out of Alabama. One in particular we know's the GOAT. Pro wrestling. And Vince is in command. And through the years, he's become a billionaire, even though his product is bland. Yeah. Oh, the eagle on top of the flag always gets me, Conrad, every time. Every time. And it makes me want to sing a second stanza of the song. Oh, beautiful, for lousy angles, for finishes beyond compare, for bringing podcasts into our home. Did you know Schiavone could swear? Pro wrestling. Oh, how we truly love you. And we'll celebrate our love affair this May at Starrcast 2.
Are you okay?
I'm a little verklempt right now. I'm a little emotional. What a moment. God bless Aretha Franklin. She was, and I hate to sing over because she was absolutely wonderful.
How about these cutaways? How expensive was that footage to get back in the day?
That was some good stuff, man. Look at that camera angle.
How about the chick working on the telephone pole just randomly, and now dude's welding?
Yep. Dude's welding. Nothing like a dude welding.
I was just saying, like, why are we showing? I guess because WWF is Americana. God damn it.
That's right. God damn, pal. Give me some more shots of people working. Give me a chick on a pole.
And let's
give me a dude welding.
Let's find a way to fleece those motherfuckers. How popular was it back here? See, this is not the sign era, but it is very much, if you're lower level, if you're front row of any sort of balcony type situation where there's a rail in front of you, you go spray paint a bed sheet and you bring it to the show.
Yeah, that's right. That's how you show your love. You know, you mentioned at the beginning of this, and this is a phenomenal look. This was just a phenomenal look. 93,000 is what they announced, and that was really not the case.
No,
they fudged that.
Yes.
How much did they fudge it by?
Well, it depends on who you believe, but there's tons and tons and tons of debate. Of course, you know, Bruce Pritchard would argue till he's blue in the face, but Dave actually got the books, and you know, it's less. It's probably 67,000, not 93,000.
Yeah. I mean, hey, wrestling is all about fudging, right?
Well, I mean, here's the thing, like, it's not necessary, you know, whether it's 93 or 63, when you see the visual, you're like, holy shit, look at how many people that is.
Right.
Like the actual number doesn't matter.
It was a moment that I think that made WrestleMania what it was. I mean, it was bigger than what they had at Madison Square Garden. It was bigger than that 3-venue event they had for WrestleMania 2.
Hey, I lied. The actual attendance, I said 67. I was mistaken. I was thinking of another show. Even when I said it out loud, I was like, I don't know about that. It was 78.
Okay.
Still, it's a fuck ton.
Oh, jeez. For a pro wrestling event? You're not kidding. It's a fuck ton.
For anything besides, you know, a college football game.
Yeah. What'd you think of Mary Hart?
I mean, you can have her.
Okay. I thought she was all the way live. You know, her legs were insured by Lloyd's of London.
You know that I was 5 when this show happened and couldn't care less.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Hey, so chat me up here. You know, you said this is the biggest one, and they obviously bounced back in a big way because WrestleMania was a happening. Madison Square Garden being the big arena it was, and it was so world famous, and there's all this closed circuit opportunity, and they've got major mainstream. Look at this fucking Tom Zink in here.
How about it? How about Tom?
Action. Tom's a damn good looking man.
That's what I understand. I've heard it on this podcast before, and Rick Martel's not a bad looking young man himself.
And we got Orton, Fuji, The Rock, Don Morocco, The Real Rock. Of course, Howard Finkel on the stick. Howard Finkel is synonymous with this era WWF to me.
Well, listen, Howard Finkel's the best ring announcer ever, I think. And that's just my opinion. I know that I've talked a lot here on this podcast about Truckin' Tom Miller, how great he was, but to me, the Fink was the man.
You know what? I don't know that you've ever noticed this, but when I saw a close up of Cowboy Bob Orton,
yeah,
if I didn't know better, I would think him and Randy Orton are related. They've got a lot of similar facial features. We should check into that. I wonder if Cowboy Bob was ever in the St. Louis area and met up with a lovely lady and some shenanigans happened. I mean, we need to look into that. Do you think there's a chance that Randy Orton might actually be related to Bob Orton? Cause they favor, man.
Well, they certainly do look alike. And the fact that a wrestler, shenanigans, lovely lady seemed to always go together, didn't it?
I don't know. I think that's all rumor and innuendo. By the way, what would you make of the way Magnificent Morocco has patterned his chest hair here?
I have to take a closer look at this. He patterned his chest hair.
Yeah. It feels like he's decided to shave most of it, but he's left some.
Uh-huh.
And,
oh, I see it. Yeah. Like a V.
I don't know what's going on. Like he left it on behind his, like on his back too. It's like,
right. Well, it's almost, he was very well known to have quite the sense of humor. And, he probably just did this to do something different, to make his opponents laugh, if nothing else, because he knew he was wrestling a couple, if I can use the term, pretty boys. So he thought he would just surprise him with something of his own, knowing how Don Morocco was. Now, I never knew Don personally, but I'd heard the stories that he was quite the ripper.
So he had already left the Mid-Atlantic territory by the time you came in?
Yeah. Yeah. I never met Don.
So did you meet Fuji? Yeah, you knew Fuji from WWF.
Right.
And you knew Tom Zink, you knew Martel. What about Gorilla's son? Did you ever meet him?
Oh, yeah. Joey Morello was a great kid and a tragic tragic end to his life as well. He was a good one. He was a good referee.
How much time did you spend with the Cowboy?
None. Oh, none with the Cowboy. I did. The first Starrcade, the Cowboy was there.
Right.
And he was in the back, and I was just kind of like, new kid on the block and kind of nervous that he was back there and Harley Race was back there and Dick Slater was back there. And I was just kind of didn't really get to know him that well at all. I saw him recently, I guess. I can't remember. I guess I saw him 2 years ago at WrestleCon, and like everyone, he's aged quite a bit, but he was a hell of a performer. He really was. He was the ace Cowboy.
He's aged quite a bit, you said.
Yes, he has aged quite a bit. You'll age quite a bit one day. I won't be around to see that, but you will.
Why are you? Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No, I'm just saying, just how people age. It's amazing, but people do age.
So, talk to me a little bit about.
Hey, you know who's aged?
Your mom.
Well, yes, Vincent K. McMahon has aged. Take a look at the Vince McMahon that we see now on these shows, and take a look at what we saw there. Man, how has he aged? Holy smokies!
Who do you think has aged worse, Vince McMahon or Mr. Fuji?
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon or Tom Zink?
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon or Joey Morella?
Vince McMahon.
I'm gonna tell you, Joey Morella's got to be looking rough by now. I'm just gonna tell you. Got to.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. A lot of these guys who are in the show no longer with us,
Yeah. Pay attention if you can.
Yeah.
Hey, so, that was a great spot right there by Martel. I really like that. I don't know that I've seen that one before, or maybe not in a while.
Mm-hmm.
You made a comment about, this one being the biggest and this one really sort of making WrestleMania. The first one was clearly a huge success. Lots of celebrities in the biggest market in the US, the most famous arena, a hot celebrity main event.
Right.
Hulk Hogan was probably at the peak of wrestling, hype and popularity, and they're making appearances on Saturday Night Live. And of course, Mr. T is on a hit show, and he's done the Rocky movie, and so has Hogan. So there's just lots of buzz in the mainstream about WrestleMania, and they try to keep that momentum going. For whatever reason, it doesn't work as well for WrestleMania 2. Maybe they were a little too ambitious with, where they wanted to make it 3 times as bigger. So 3 towns, and, it was a fine show, I guess, at the time, but people sort of do just skip over 2 as if it was a misstep.
Right.
But man, did they rebound big here or what? And it's important to note that, when they did 2, of course, as we said, the first one, biggest market in the world, New York City, blah, blah, blah. But when they do 2, they go to really, really big markets as well. They've got one in Chicago, they've got one in New York, they've got one in LA. So they're covering the major markets for the US. But now for 3, dude, they're in Pontiac, Michigan. And it's not even a real town. It's a suburb. And it's just this giant thing. It's amazing to me that they were able to do this and do it here after such a departure from everywhere else. And by the way, I know I'm going to get a lot of shit. I'm just saying it's in the Detroit metro, but it's a suburb of Detroit that's got 60,000 folks or something stupid.
Right.
Whereas Chicago, you're talking, 3 million people, New York and LA, even more than that. So it is weird to see them say, okay, instead of just being in the biggest town in the US or the 3 biggest towns, fuck it. Let's go to a suburb of Detroit.
Well, let's go to a town that they were hot in, that they knew they could do well, that they had a great partner in the Silverdome. And you're right. I've spent a lot of time in that part of the country. The Silverdome and where the Detroit Pistons used to play, the Palace of Auburn Hills, they're way outside of Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
A long way outside of Detroit. It's where the Lions played at that time. So it was a very well-known venue. So you're right. It was very ambitious. But, man, they did it right. How about this? Congratulations on the 2 good-looking guys. Tom Zink. Man, Tom Zink, he's handsomer there than I remember. He's a good-looking feller.
By the way, this, I know this is the silliest thing I've ever heard, but can I tell you that like 10 years ago, or maybe it wasn't that long ago, once upon a time, the Silver Dome was up for sale.
What?
Yeah. It had been abandoned. It was obviously in horrible shape.
Right.
But it was for sale. I mean, it was essentially a fire sale. They sold it for like under $600,000. Process what I just said out loud.
The building in the land, right?
Yeah. Under $600,000.
Wow. What do they have there now?
I'm not exactly sure. I just know that I was trying to like talk to some of my buddies here and I was like, hey man, we should all kick in and we should fucking buy the Silver Dome.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Well, I can
awesome.
figure out better ways to piss your money away than that.
No, I'm just saying like you could have done something with that, or at least that was my idea.
Why don't we put the offices of Conrad Thompson Enterprise in the Silver Dome, right in the middle of it?
By the way, I think it's been demolished since then.
Yes, it has. Here's a little angle between Hercules, or as we knew him as Hercules Hernandez. He was called Hercules here, and Billy Jack, or Billy Jack Haynes. This was a couple of years after Billy Jack threatened to beat up Jim Crockett and was fired from Jim Crockett Promotions. And I really think if you go back and you take a look at the great strong men and the great physiques, Billy Jack Haynes had one of the great physiques ever in pro wrestling. Wouldn't you agree?
I would. Look at this backdrop. Two of the greatest of all time here, Mean Gene and Bobby the Brain.
It's full Nelson against this man, the mighty Hercules.
You know, it's the same old story, and it's just like thousands of years ago when I took these chains and I pulled down the pillars of Rome, and just like I made Atlas and Samson cower at my feet, Billy Jack Haynes, you're gonna feel the fear, you're gonna feel the wrath. We're gonna find out who the true master of the full Nelson is right here in the Pontiac Silverdome.
And get it right, it is Billy Jerk Haynes.
For the record, it is Billy Jack Haynes.
So I just want to be clear here. Hercules is thousands of years old. Like that's the real Greek god Hercules wrestling in the second match on WrestleMania.
Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is. So just play along with it, right?
Okay. I'm not mad at it. I just thought, by the way, speaking of not being mad at it, would you fucking look at the way Billy Jack is dressed? This dude looks like, that's how Bad Money Slim would dress if he won the lottery.
You're right. But he's got the Billy Jack hat on, from the movie Billy Jack.
Have you seen this crazy fucker present day?
I have not.
Oh my God. I want you to just throw it in your Google machine. Billy Jack Haynes.
All right. I'm going to throw it in my Google machine as we're talking right here.
Maybe you should even type the year in. Type in like 2019.
All right. Well, I'm glad to see he's still alive. I'm happy for that.
Okay. He's not as crazy looking as I thought. A few years ago. Oh, there it is. So he's got like blonde hair, but a black beard. I mean, it is the craziest. A few years ago, he was putting out all these grandstand challenges on YouTube. I don't know if you saw that, but he's making these crazy claims about how he witnessed a murder and he wanted to challenge Steve Austin and just some really, really crazy shit.
Holy shit. I see it here. I can't believe that's really him.
Yeah.
Wow. And think of how he looked, man, back then. Wow. He just was.
Dude, I mean, right now, like some of these, like his pictures when he did a shoot with our video.
Yeah.
It looks like, Billy Ray Cyrus if he didn't have a famous daughter,
Oh, here's some headlines. Billy Jack Haynes claimed he witnessed unsolved murders in 1987.
See?
Yikes.
He saw a guy get murdered by the railroad tracks or something, and he tried to go viral with it. And I mean, people were really talking about it for a little bit, but then I see this video and I see this big jacked up dude, but he still got that same beard. I was like, wait a minute. Hang on now. What?
Wow.
Oh, Bruce told me a great story once on Something to Wrestle. He said that Hercules Hernandez went and talked to the CFO of, WWF at the time. And he was asking, Hercules was for a raise and how he could make more money, and he wasn't making enough money to live on. And, so he tries to, run through some of his expenses with him and just do a budget with him and just offer him some real financial advice. And the solution at the end was he asked for his credit cards, and the CFO just literally fucking cut them all up. And, he said, okay, that should fix it. And Herc nicknamed him Chainsaw after that, which I think is hilarious.
Would that have been Basil DeVito or Benny Morales, maybe? I don't know, one of those guys who worked in the front office for the WWE.
No, Sages was his last name.
Oh, yes. Yes, Sages. Doug Sages was his name.
Chainsaw Sages.
Yes. Chainsaw Sages. Billy Jack, by the way, a story about him. When he wrestled in Starrcade 85 against Wahoo McDaniel, and he wrestled him in the Omni. And, of course, a couple of days later, that's when he and Jimmy Crockett had their falling out. I drove back from Atlanta to Charlotte, and Billy Jack Haynes rode with me. Just me and Billy Jack. And it was a very, very odd, uncomfortable drive of 4 hours. And I never will forget, he would say, when I would ask him something, he would say yes, sir, and no, sir, to me. And I just thought it was odd. And I asked him if he wanted to stop and get something to eat. He said no, he just wanted to stop and get a soda and a pack of nabs. And it was a very odd, he was very nice, very humble man. And then, of course, a couple of days later, he threatened to kick Jimmy Crockett's ass, and that was about it. Once he got the Starrcast, or the Starrcade payoff.
Is a pack of nabs a pack of crackers?
Yes, pack of nabs.
Okay.
You've never heard it called nabs?
No, I've heard of nabs, but I hadn't heard of nabs.
Nabs, yeah. Yeah, Lance made, toast cheese and some other ones, and they were called nabs, pack of nabs.
I'm just not familiar with the phrase, but I got it now.
Okay, you got it.
Thank you for the lesson.
Okay, so when I ask for a pack of nabs, next time we're in like St. Louis, or even bring me a pack of nabs at Starrcast too, because I'm going to be working long and hard with you there. And I look forward to that as well. Herc, I knew Herc. Hercules wrestled, as I mentioned this on a previous podcast, and of course I knew Heenan as well, but Hercules wrestled as the Masked Assassin 2, and was really a friendly guy. I hate that Ray passed away and left us too soon, but was really, really and I don't know if he ever. Do you really think he ever got over? No, I don't either. But wasn't because he didn't try. He was a good kid. I think everybody liked him that I remember. Hey, I've got a question for you.
Shoot.
Who you probably know this because you studied more in the history of pro wrestling than I have. Who coined the phrase WrestleMania? Who came up with that moniker?
Was it Vince? Howard Finkel.
Howard Finkel did.
Yes.
Congratulations, Howard, on that. It has stood the test of time. And you know what a good thing, and I was looking up these matches and doing kind of a Google search on these matches. And with the exception of the Steamboat Randy Savage match, that is a legendary match that we're going to be covering here in a few moments, most of these matches were pretty short, which to me is good. And they don't have, and it's a 3-hour show, which to me is good compared to the, 15-hour show they have now at WrestleMania. So I thought the show was paced very, very well as well.
15-hour show, he says.
Well, it feels that way. My God, how long is WrestleMania now?
It's going to be 8 hours this time.
8 hours. And does that include the
that's pre-show and everything?
The pre-show? 8 hours. Well, it may be 8 hours, but damn it felt like 15.
It might be 7 and change, but you know what I mean.
I know what you're saying, but it's too long. Is what I'm getting at. I think it's too long. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Look at David Hebner. No, he's not giving up. Not giving up as of yet. Heenan was very good ringside to get the fans fired up. You know, he's, I guess we remember him as an announcer, but man, what a great manager Bobby Heenan was. Whoa, that's a hell of a spot, isn't it? Both going down at the same time. I enjoy that. Hell yeah.
Talk to me about WrestleMania 3 and how it was perceived down yonder.
Down yonder? Well, it was perceived as we got our ass kicked. That, I don't know if got our ass kicked is the right thing, but it was perceived as if we're really sucking hind tit now. Well, we couldn't do anything remotely close to this. Crockett's couldn't. Not even remotely close to it. With our biggest stars, with our biggest match, with our biggest hype, with our biggest machine, with the most money spent, we couldn't do anything remotely close to this. This showed the world that they were a national promotion, and we were still very much a regional promotion, even though we were on TBS. And they had stars, the crossover stars, which they had for the first two WrestleManias, I understand. And as part of being in the quote-unquote New York market, they had Jesse Ventura. And they had this look here, which was, oh, here we go. The full Nelson. Billy Jack was quite a star in Oregon for Don Owens, I guess, at one time. You familiar with that territory they had up there?
Yeah, I mean, I know a little bit about it, but I was not a Oregon guy. I've seen tapes though, Piper and, his crazy promos and busting beer bottles over his head and all that silliness.
Yeah. Well, for some reason, during my tenure at Jim Crockett Promotions, when I finished up in baseball and started working for them full time, which would have been after the summer of '85, wow, Heenan, holy shit. When a promoter would call, a lot of times, for some reason, they would transfer him to my phone. So I had a chance to talk to Don Owens one time. It was a very enlightening call. And it may have been during this era, may have been during 87, 88. And Don had said, I said, so, Mr. Owens, how's things going? He said, not too good. He said, if business doesn't pick up, I'm going to have to start paying these guys in sides of beef because I can't afford to pay them anymore. And I just knew that the regional business was down. I talked to Vern Gagne one time, and he kept me on the phone a long time talking about his business. Wow, watch out. Is he allowed to do that? Isn't that a disqualification?
Of course it is. Did you just ask is he allowed to hit people in the face with a chain?
Well, no. Why didn't he throw the match out? He saw it, didn't he?
Well, I mean, he's backed him into the corner.
Yeah, but he hadn't thrown the match out. Something's wrong here.
He can't disqualify him.
Absolutely not. The match is officially over. Nails will win it again. Come on, Hebner, do something.
Okay, it is over.
Why don't you pay attention?
Well, he hasn't raised anybody's hand. I don't see him signal for the bell.
Well, because he's trying to stop the man from murdering the other man.
Well, come on. Ask for the bell. The bell is the bell. Got bell. You do call the bell. The double fingers up in the air. Bing, 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 bing.
Hang on. Are you suggesting that you know more about being a referee than the fucking Hebners right now?
No, I do not. I'm not suggesting that, but I suggest I've seen many referees call for the bell. I haven't seen him call for the bell. Call for the motherfucking bell.
Well.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway. Oh my God. Oh, he's a crimson mask.
Second match on the show, and we're bleeding. What a different time.
And now he's got the full Nelson on him, and that was the idea. Full Nelson. No, fuck it. He beat him anyway.
Efren told me that he was going to try to put you in a full Nelson.
I had a feeling something like that was going to rear its ugly head.
That's what he was trying to do. He's trying to rear some ugly head.
Yeah.
He told me that what he was going to try to do was put you in a full Nelson and force your head down.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there, Hercules doesn't win.
By the way, one day I'm going to work a deal out with Ben Brown, the WWE archivist. I want one of these little carts. I would probably, use it to check the mail at the end of the road, take the trash up the hill.
That would be a wonderful video.
Dude, it would be tremendous though.
And they come in front of the house and there's Megan waiting with a cup of coffee.
What if at Starrcast 2?
Yeah.
I made my entrance to the stage on one of these WrestleMania cards.
I'm saying book it right now, man.
Dear
What's the guy's
Ben.
name? Brown Eye?
Yeah, Brown Eye. But yeah, that's his email.
Sorry.
It's browneye@wwe.com.
Sorry. I got mixed up. You were talking about Efren, and I just wasn't sure.
So whenever I mention Efren, you think about Brown Eyes?
Well, I did right there. Not every time. Okay, so take a look at this, would you please?
Serious question. Who the fuck wants to be the last row on the floor? You can't see shit.
I know. Wow. And God bless
King
these
Kong
two men.
Bundy. Here we go.
In little packages.
Well, you know, once again, Oakland, you have to be corrected because Big Trouble comes in 450-pound packages like King Kong Bundy. You know, Hillbilly Jim, I want you most of all. But if those other two midgets get in my way, I'll squash all three of you right in the middle of the ring. They'll have to pick you three up with a bladder. Wow.
What do you think about what a different time it is?
Right. They're not midgets. They're little people.
How about shooting this instead of a stand up with them? We're just shooting them from behind. And your boy knows, hey guys, we're doing this wrong. We should, the camera's over here. Maybe we should turn around.
That's right. Here comes King Kong Bundy, by the way. I've mentioned this before. He and I were the exact same age, born on the exact same day, the exact same year. And he just recently passed, as we know.
And how hard did that hit you?
It hit me pretty hard. Anytime somebody in the business passes that you are familiar with, okay, so these are two little guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I say midgets? I mean, they've already said midgets. So, I mean, it's not Hornswoggle. Well, and Hornswoggle's not really a midget.
Oh, he's not.
No, he's just a sawed-off little fucker is all he is. Speaking of that, here we go again.
Do you know Hornswoggle? Oh, yeah, you met him at MLW.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you're talking pretty big there.
Yeah. We'll go track hillbilly here. So we got, I don't know any of these guys, but I do.
Hillbilly Jim and his two midget partners going against King Kong Bundy and his two midget partners.
I like that they don't even say their name. They got midget partners. The reality is, Hillbilly Jim is with Haiti Kid and Little Beaver.
What?
Haiti Kid and Little Beaver.
Little Beaver. The guy that's dressed up like an Indian is Little Beaver?
You reckon? Or do you think that's the Haiti Kid?
Wow.
Fucking genius. Yes.
Look,
Little Beaver.
Well, at least they're not sawed off little fucking runts like Hornswoggle.
By the way, on the other side, King Kong Bundy is with Little Tukyo and Lord Littlebrook.
Okay.
By the way,
well, Lord Littlebrook is probably the most famous of all the.
Oh, for sure. I was told that Lord Littlebrook, he had quite the reputation with the ladies.
Uh-huh. Do you think Lord Littlebrook would have benefited from Blue Chew?
I don't know.
I mean, you know what they say, regardless of what size you are, if you have the swing, you're a big man, right?
Are you trying to do a transition spot to a commercial using little people and dicks?
Yes, because, if you're looking to go a few extra rounds or last longer, regardless of how big you are in stature, you can be bigger down there at BlueChew.com. It has the first ever chewable that brings you performance in the bedroom, and it brings it to another motherfucking level. You can take them any day, anytime, day or night. Even take it on the full stomach, which I know that's how you take most of your medicine, on the full stomach. Plus, you don't have to go to the doctor's office. You don't have to hop in that WWE device with the ring ropes. Go to the doctor's office in Huntsville. You don't have to spend time in the waiting room because Blue Chew ships straight to your door in discreet packaging. Don't get it mixed up with the 10 pairs of Jordan Airs that your Air Jordans that your
Jordan Airs? Jordan Airs. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Airs. Jesus Christ, Jordan Airs.
So I'm not talking about Jordan Airs. I'm talking about hard beaters. Here's a great deal for you guys. Visit our friends at BlueChew.com. Get your first order free when you use promo code WHW. Just pay $5 shipping. Again, that's BLUE chew.com, promo code WHW. And your dick could be as hard as Lord Littlebrooks, or the Haiti Kid, or the Little Engine Guy.
That's Little Beaver.
Little Beaver.
I don't think you're allowed to say Little Engine Guy.
Right. So you're
if you're ready for a Little Beaver, go to BlueChew.com. Give them that promo code to get their dick real hard again.
It's BLUECHEW.com. Promo code WHW.
What happened?
Which, by the way, what happened when? But it also stands for wow, hard, wow.
Oh God, this is the worst commercial you've ever done.
I think it's pretty damn good.
You're wrong.
All right.
Tony, are you familiar with the rap song Up?
You know what? I was not familiar with many rap songs until I got to know you. And then obviously...
I think you'll like this. This makes me think of Blue Chew. I think you could get behind this one.
This is not Kodak Black, is it?
No. Oh, what do you think of the beat so far?
I could tell it wasn't Kodak Black because the beat sounds good.
Oh.
Get it back, fam. Get it back, fam.
Push it up. I beat to push it up.
You think that's something you could pitch slow us on tonight?
No. Blue Chew gets it up. Blue Chew gets it up.
What is happening right now?
No. Hey, let's go back to the midget match. Okay.
You gotta stop saying that.
They're saying it on this. They're saying it here. I'm just repeating what they're saying. Okay, let's go back to the hillbilly and the fat guy and the little guys.
But you can't say that.
I can't call anybody a hillbilly.
You gotta be
I can't
nice.
say somebody's fat.
Why don't you try to be nice?
Okay. Oh.
I mean, you don't have to.
Now, King Kong Bundy, how about that? Little Beaver just ran under the leg, so he just slugged him in the head. I never met King Kong Bundy, but I always liked his gimmick, man. I thought he was mean looking, big. Get the fuck away from me, Little Beaver.
You won't be saying that when you use Blue Chew. Be pitching here, kitty kitty.
Ooh. Let me take a swig of water on that one. Hey, these guys are having a hell of a match. Even little Haiti.
What about Little Beaver?
Little Beaver's down and out.
Should we, do you want to text Swoggle right now and tell him that Little Beaver is your favorite?
Yeah. Okay. You text me Swoggle's number.
Oh, I thought you were, the way you were talking about him earlier, you were real familiar.
Yeah. I know him, but I don't have his. You got everybody's number in the business. Just text me his number, and I'll say we're watching Little Beaver and Haiti Kid, and we're watching who's the Asian kid wrestler.
I don't even. We've went through this 38 times.
Okay,
just tap out. Just give up.
I'll just tap out. Okay. Oh, there's Blackjack Lanza. Say that's it, man. Match is over. Wow. Well, this was a perfect match to promote Blue Chew because wasn't much happening in this match. But that little beaver's dead.
King Kong Bundy, by the way,
is dead too.
Wow.
Well, by the way, what?
He injured one of the little people here.
Oh, is that why they stopped the match?
He, I believe, Little Beaver, he died in 95.
Like right now? He's dead now?
He died in 95.
Oh, okay.
And, a lot of people blame King Kong Bundy for his death because that's the last time we saw him wrestle. After that body slam, he didn't take care of him.
Wow.
That's the rumored innuendo.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there. I was 5.
Oh my God. Maybe we should have held the Blue Chew promo off until this interview here.
By the way, it's really, really weird to read the Observer back then.
Yeah.
Because it was typed on a typewriter.
Right.
And there were letters like the O's in his typewriter that just didn't print correctly. And it all just sort of ran together. It just didn't look, I don't know, normal.
Right.
But he's pitching that, it was a huge success from the hype to the production to, the revenue, blah, blah, blah. But he shits all over the main event in a way. I mean, real bad. Like he gave Rick Martel in that opening match, Martel and Zank against Orton and Morocco, 2.5 stars.
Okay.
He gave Billy Jack and Hercules 2 3/4 stars. He gave 1 star only for comedy to the little person match. Mm-hmm. Harley Race and who he's going to call the junk food dog.
Yeah.
Are going to get 1 star, but the main event, you going to guess what he rated it?
Well, okay. If you just said that Harley Race and JYD got 1 star and then you went, it must be -1 star for that match.
-4 stars.
Oh my God. -4 stars.
He even wrote, he says, that's -4 stars. I'll have nightmares about this one. Andre just standing there, not moving for minutes and nearly falling asleep while holding Hogan in a 4-minute bear hug.
Well, I thought and when we get to it, we'll get to it, but I thought oh my gosh, there's the Snickers lady. The fabulous Moolah.
A reincarnation, keep it that way.
The Queen of Wrestling, the fabulous Moolah.
Gene, it'll be my pleasure to crown the King of Wrestling once again, Harley Race, and to have Junkyard Dog bowing to the King as he's supposed to.
Moolah, I'm giving you right now the crown jewels. You take care of this real well, and then you give it to the King after the match and put it on his head, as only the Queen of Wrestling can do.
Thank you.
So, is it just me or does Moolah have the same sort of disease that Harley does where they just look the same age forever?
Oh, okay. Yeah, they aged very, very well. They really did. Heenan, not so much, but they did.
I don't know what you're talking about right now. I'm saying the fact that they looked like they were however fucking old they were their entire life.
Right.
Or you're talking about aging well.
Well, they just look the same, which means you age well. You can either, you come out of the womb, you look like an old woman or an old guy, and you stay that way, which means you age well. Okay. What did you think of Harley Race with the King gimmick? Was this a slap to the face of the NWA, you think?
Well, I mean, I think they're trying. I mean, where would Harley have fit in here? Really?
Right.
If they're not giving him some sort of gimmick, I mean, I guess they could have had him, put a bird on his shoulder. Call what? I could have.
Well, they could have. Oh, JYD, man. He was a great guy. Miss him. Really like working with Sylvester. Thump. He was a big time star at one time too. Yeah, Meltzer can call him junk food dog all he wants, but he was a big time star. He wasn't the greatest worker in the world. He was far from it, but he was a big star. And he was part of the Hulk Hogan Rockin' Wrestling cartoon. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a big deal to be on that. I will never see those little motorized rings again without thinking of you going to the mailbox. Oh God. So now he's got to bow. He's going to make JYD bow in front of him, right?
Yeah, I think that's the move.
Yeah, that's the gimmick here that they're supposed to. Now, of course, Harley Race became the king. I guess Hacksaw Jim Duggan became king.
Haku.
There was
Macho
Haku,
Man.
Macho King Randy Savage. Yeah, they all had the king gimmick. And then I don't know who retired it.
Well, I mean, they started doing it for the King of the Ring, but that wasn't the same.
Yeah. So this is a 1-star match, huh?
Yep. The junk food dog.
Mm-hmm. Heenan pulls the leg. This is Heenan making something out of nothing here.
It's crazy to think about too, how both of these guys used to be. I mean, obviously they're early on the card here, 4th out, but these guys were main events. I mean, in a big deal, JYD was setting all kinds of records in New Orleans for Bill Watts. And of course it felt like Harley Race was champion forever in the NWA.
Yeah. So like in other parts of the world, they would have worked on top the final match, and now they're match number 4 of the card here.
4 years prior to this, less than that, 3.5 years, 3.25 years prior to this, Harley Race was working Ric Flair in a steel cage in the first Starrcade in the main event,
right,
for the NWA World Title, and now he's out here trying to get what he can out of JYD. And you know what's funny too is, we look at a guy like Harley Race here, and we think, or I do, I'm like, fuck, how old is he right there? Do you want to guess?
Harley would be in his 40s right there, right?
Yeah. But guess where in his 40s?
I was thinking early 40s.
About 43.
Wow.
He turned 44 like the next year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really amazing to me, because we're looking at him now and thinking, oh man, he's old here. He's actually 5 years younger than Chris Jericho is today. And I wouldn't think of Harley Race in the ring as being 5 years younger than Jericho today. It goes to show you, how, I don't know, maybe that's from eating 2 pounds of bacon and smoking a carton of cigarettes a day. I don't know.
Could be. Yeah. And he outlived Vader. That's something. God, he outlived Roddy Piper. Jeez. Yeah, one thing I've noticed here about this show, and it just hit me. I guess it's because of the way they were stationed, but fans are today in the WWE so much a big part of the show, seemingly, but they are kind of like nondescript here.
Well, I think it's because of the technology with the camera. Like, they can't get really tight shots that far away and close up. I don't think it was that they were able to really focus, in 2 ways like that.
Right.
And, you got to think about where that hard cam is. It's so far away already to go all the way to the other side of the dome and have distinct faces. But you're right. It does look, how in the cartoons, like in a comic book or something like that, whenever they draw the crowd in the background, they're just like shapes. You can't really make out features. But that really does tell the story of the size and the scale and the scope. By the way, does Fabulous Moolah look like everybody's grandma right here at a family reunion or what?
Yes, she does. She looks like she's coming in with some mac and cheese.
Honey, I made that casserole you like so much. No, not you, dog. We've got them ho-hos in the other room. As for dessert, we're eating casseroles now.
Okay, those ho-hos. Okay.
Whoa.
Well, I just wanted you to clarify what ho-hos you were talking about.
Well, if I would have said ding dongs, you would have got offended and thought Conrad was talking about Efren again.
No, I mean, you say ho-hos and you've got moolah all in one breath there. And
well, if you have enough moolah, you can get a lot of ho-hos.
Oh, absolutely. Now he's supposed to bow down. He bowed down to him. There you go. Wow, he did it.
Now he's going to take that chair and hit him right in the head with the padded bottom.
Where's the crown? Who's got the crown? Did Heenan take off the crown?
Snatched it. By the way, I have a crown.
Do you?
Yep.
Anybody snatch that one?
No, it's in my office. Should I wear it? Should I wear it at Starrcast?
I think you ought to wear it when you go into the mailbox in your little vehicle.
Oh, if you think I won't, dude. Oh, you know what I'll do too is I'll get that WWE seamstress to make me a robe.
Yeah.
Instead of saying Nature Boy, I just call myself Nature Man. I've been trademarking shit lately. I might go trademark Nature Man.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll tell you this. One of our close personal friends, pretty prominent figure in the professional wrestling world, that is his name for me. on text messages.
Really?
Yeah.
Nature Man.
He starts everything with "Dear Nature Man, comma, return." And then here come the messages. Nature Man. But yeah, I'd love to go by Nature Man and have a little fancy robe with some feathers on the outside of it. Get in my little WrestleMania cart. I'll have to have Dave Silva drive me though, just like that. And I'll get up and check the mail with my crown on.
You're going to have Dave Silva drive you.
Well, there's a little driver. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did.
Well, I mean, how else am I going to get around?
I don't know, Bruce. How are you?
I appreciate that inside baseball reference. Okay, so, here we go. This is the main event right here, baby.
His moment of destiny.
Well, you know, they said it was my last ride, man. Yesterday when I finished hanging and banging, when I jumped on the Harley, man, as I went through the intersection, as I headed for the mountains, some of the non-believers in the gym said, "See you later, Hulkster, man. This is your last ride." It ate me alive, brothers. When I felt the fury, as I ripped, as I tore the shirt, as I headed for the sunset, man, I looked down, brothers, and as the sun beamed off the gold in my eyes, I realized that sooner or later, you gotta live and die and you gotta face the truth. And for you, Andre the Giant, it's time to face the truth, brother. Because when I think about what you and I have to do, man, what I have to do is nothing. All I have to do is merely beat a 7'4", 550-pound giant. But Andre, you gotta face the truth, brother. In its purest form, man. The purest truth there is, man. The training, the saying, the prayers, the eating, the vitamins. And to beat me, man, you gotta beat every Hulkamaniac, every little Hulkster in the world, everyone that plays it straight, all the ones that don't take any shortcuts, brother. And they usually say, if the dirty air don't get you, the politicians will. But in this case, it's going to be Hulkamania. And the reason it's going to get you, man, it's the purest form of the truth there is. And I can't wait to see you go down at the feet of Hulkamania in front of 90,000 plus in the Silver Dome. What you gonna do, Andre the Giant, when the real truth, the 24-inch pythons and Hulkamania runs wild on you?
I loved it, man. I love these promos. I did.
Dude, I got chill bumps.
Yeah, that's good. That is good shit. And just think about this, of what Andre the Giant was in wrestling, and now he's facing Hulk Hogan. It was like Hulk Hogan's, if I can use this term, ultimate challenge to face the Giant. And here come Heat Seekers Jacques Rougeau and Raymond Rougeau.
We got to get jackets like that.
I love those jackets, man.
By the way, did you see that Chalkline sells a Bobby Heenan jacket now?
No.
Oh God. You got to see this.
I don't even know what Chalkline is.
All right. Can you spell those two words?
Yes.
Put them together.
Okay.
Like them touch. Chalkline.
Okay. Oh, meanwhile, here's your buddy. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's Johnny Valiant. And Brutus Beefcake.
What the fuck?
And Dino Bravo. That's right. I'm going to get the slugs put in me one day.
Oh, God.
Right in my chair.
How about, of all the things that you could commission Olivia Walker to make?
Uh-huh.
He said, "Hey, Olivia, I got this idea. You know, my nickname is the Hammer. What if you put a full arm on the back holding a hammer? Hear me out. Like a hammer. So it's a wooden shaft and it's got like a sledge head on it. No, I'm talking about my hammer. No, not that one. The one. Yeah. So just like sew a dude's arm on the back. No, I want the rest of it to look classy, but this part I need to look like a fucking 4th grade art project. Oh, it's $8,000. Great. I make great decisions when I'm hanging out with Brother Brudi. I mean, what the fuck, dude? That's a really beautiful robe.
Yes.
But then that fucking arm. What is that?
Well, that's what he was known for. The elbow.
I understand, but when she made one for Ric Flair, did she put woo on the back? Did she put a figure 4 on the back? Did she put a tray full of kamikazes on the back? Did she put blades on the back? Did she put ex-wives on the back? No. She put Nature Boy. You could have just put the hammer. We get it. We've seen a fucking hammer. We don't need to see the visual. It's like those dumb fucks at Morton's Steakhouse. So the dumb fucks at Morton's Steakhouse, they bring you all the different cuts of beef. And listen, if you're a vegetarian or maybe you're an idiot, I understand they need to explain the different cuts of beef to you. Got it. But then when it comes to the vegetables, they have the motherfucker come to your table holding a tomato. We have tomato salad, and he has an actual tomato in his hand, and he shows you a tomato as if you wandered off the fucking street and into this $100 a plate steakhouse, and you, my friend, have never seen or heard. You're not familiar with the foreign concept of a goddamn tomato. I got it, Chief. I don't need to see any more fucking produce. Show me the menu. I can read, which is how I afford this $100 meal. So yeah, I want like an arm, like, no, shoulder down. Let's get the trap in there. Let's get the delts in there. Let's get the bicep. Let's get the tricep. Yeah, the forearms. Yeah, put a fucking hand on it. You put a hand on it. Yeah. So, and then put like a sledge head on it.
Yeah, and put the hearts. Don't forget the hearts, like Valentine's.
See, I got that.
Yeah.
To me, if you just did hearts all the way through, you just did hammer on the back in cursive letters like Nature Boy, it's a fucking great robe.
Yeah.
But that looks like a fucking fourth grader made it.
Yeah. Where did this Morton Steakhouse thing come from? Is this something? That just kind of like came out of like a left field there, you know?
Dude, are you serious right now? I just played Beat the Pussy Up on Wrestlemania 3, and you're talking to me about random? That's kind of what we do, Bubba. This your first show?
No. It just kind of took me by surprise there.
Can you believe Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake's in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
I can't believe that he's in it before you.
No, I can.
I can't believe that he's in it before Eric Bischoff. Look what he did when he created Nitro and the NWO and Goldberg and all these different creations that happened on his watch. And meanwhile, Brutus went in the Hall of Fame for having assless chaps as wrestling tights and
carrying Hogan's weed, right?
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, boy, you've never said that before.
I can't believe the audacity of you. How rude.
Absolutely. So what do you think of this match so far?
I think it fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Can I just tell you the truth right here?
Please.
WrestleMania 3 sucked a dick.
It did?
Oh, it's awful. There's one good match in here and everything else is terrible. Don't get me wrong. The main event, a very iconic moment, but man, you want to go back and watch a show all the way through and get excited? Fucking don't watch this one.
So you would say, if someone said, this is the greatest WrestleMania of all time, you would call bullshit on that.
I'd just hang the phone up.
Okay.
And I would write them off. Oh, they're not smart. They're stupid. They probably
a lot of time
put their pants on.
Again, a lot of times it's what you remember from your childhood. You don't always remember everything being so good or so bad. You just have that memory. And to you, maybe that you were a kid in 1987 back at this time. That's a hell of a move.
Tony, you with me? 1, 2.
Oh boy. Dino Bravo. I was just trying to, work through the finish here. Maybe you think this is the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Dino Bravo with the cheat and the fucking win. And the Rougeaus do the job. Notice how it was Raymond instead of Jacques did the job there. And Brutus the Barber Beefcake doesn't seem to be too happy about that.
I mean, can you blame him?
Well, his team won.
Yeah, but he's trying to get the rub.
Okay.
He wants to be in the Hall of Fame before Hammer.
Right.
So are you gonna check your messages or what?
Okay. You sent me a message? I've checked them. Well, you didn't send me a message.
Why don't you look again?
No, I am looking. The last message I got was from that no good piece of shit Casio.
Who no-showed us. He was supposed to be a part of WrestleMania 3 and he decided to no-show us.
Yeah, fuck him. Oh, I see it. And I called up the chalk line. They apparently have a whole line of WWE apparel and merchandise. And look at the Bobby Heenan jacket. That's pretty cool.
I thought you would dig that.
I do. In the Bobby Heenan star and the Walk of Fame.
I mean, they've got other ones too, like Ravishing Rick Rude and Ric Flair and all that. But that Bobby Heenan one, I was like, man, you should wear that.
That's cool. I like that. Oh boy, here we go from Piper's Pit. This is fucking Adrian Adonis. Boy, he blew up in later life, didn't he? I know he's no longer with us, but this is the setup he and Piper in that angle.
Did you ever see any of his early stuff?
Who, Adrian Adonis?
Yeah.
I saw when he and Jesse, I saw them wrestle in the Greensboro Coliseum. They came in as the WWE Tag Team Champs. Tag Team Champs.
How many W's in that?
3. WWF Tag Team Champ.
Mm. Mm-hmm. What do you think about it?
Well, that's what I remember, first of all. But he kind of got heavy. Well, look at this, man. Go at it. Jimmy Hart. Jimmy Hart hits him and then falls down. Oh, I love it. Beans and taters, baby.
Did you see Jimmy this weekend at WrestleMania?
No, did not.
Mm.
I must not have been looking.
I didn't see him either. So there you go. We're doing an intermission. Oh, and we're back.
Yeah. See, here's the deal. Okay, Piper doesn't need anybody to hold the stick for him. He's doing it himself, man.
Hot Rod gonna be humiliated by someone who wears a dress look like someone shot the curtains at Days Head. You're wrong. No retreat and no surrender.
What do you think of the interviews? They were short and sweet in this one, except for Hogan's, weren't they?
Well, Hogan needed more time. He's the main event.
Right. But still, I mean, usually, I don't think we've seen an interview that's gone more than a minute here. Any of them. I really don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't mad at it.
Anyway, what I was going to say, at WrestleCon, it's kind of a double-edged sword at WrestleCon. I've mentioned this many times. You want to sit down and you want to be at your position like we were, Eric and I were. You want to meet the fans like we did. And you obviously want to make a little money. But you also want to go around and visit people that you haven't seen before, but you can't do that. That make any sense to you? Because you should stay there because the fans want to see you. But I wish I had a chance to walk around and visit with more people. That's always the way it is to those things. Wait a minute. Was Adrian Adonis, did he have Brutus the Barber Beefcake shears there?
Yeah, the deal is, he's going to, well, there you go.
Haircut shortly, and it could be your man, Adrian Adonis.
You spell wrestling, baby. Adonis.
Adrian.
This is the adorable one. Or maybe Clifford Claude. Piper, how are you going to like it? Are you going to like a baboon's behind? Are you going to want a DA or a Princeton or an Oxford? How are you going to like it? You're going to like it with wrestling and Irene. And I'm telling you right now, she has no high heels or sneakers. It's just python-like arms, and so is the trimmer.
Boy, when he started really working it hardcore at the end.
Yeah.
Made me think of you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Piper, buddy, he's walking. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Piper is one of the 5 greatest, top 5 promos in the business.
Who else is on that list for you?
Okay. Who else on that list? Flair, Dusty, Cornette, Arn.
Okay.
And Piper. I used to be amazed at some of the stuff we would do backstage or back in the Crockett's offices in their makeshift studio, some of the things that he'd be able to do. Just inventive. Just absolutely creative, inventive. Don't retire. There you go. There we got a sign. Don't retire Hot Rod.
Yeah, this is his last one. Supposedly forever. Of course, he'll be back.
Yes, of course, they always are, right? Never say never in the wrestling business, and I know that for sure now.
Now that your ass is back.
My ass is back. Here we go. Come on. Piper looking pretty good here.
You want to guess what this match got in the Observer?
This match got a 1.5 stars.
3.5.
3.5 stars?
Yeah. You want to guess what that Beefcake Valentine match got?
That probably got a half star.
1.5 stars.
1.5 stars. Okay. Yeah, Adrian picked up some weight in his later years, didn't he? Look at the fans really respond to that. Oh, Jimmy goes head first outside.
By the way, Roddy Piper showing up here 2 weeks after he was electrocuted. Touched a live wire in a hotel room.
Oh my God. I haven't heard that story. He touched a live wire in a hotel room, and did he need medical attention, or did he just shake it off?
I don't know. Knowing him, he probably just
stuck it in his mouth and kept on going.
That's right. Speaking of sticking it in your mouth and keep on going, Blue Chew. That's the thing. Whenever I see Adonis here, I think, it probably looks like Tony's hog after a little Blue Chew.
What Adrian Adonis does?
No, yeah, because Jimmy Hart's pulling on one end, Piper's pulling the other.
Yeah, and I put pink tights on it. Watch out. Boy, this had to be Adonis, one of Adonis's last big matches, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, holy shit.
He could have killed Jimmy there.
He sure could have. Did a hell of a job protecting Jimmy that time.
I mean, my goodness.
Watch out.
Adrian died July 4th, 1988. So just a year and change after this.
Wow.
Traffic collision, of course.
Oh my God. Yeah, he and Jesse were quite the tag team. That's a pretty good spot. I like Jimmy flying through the air. Jimmy did a good job of selling that.
Adonis, by the way, got fired here in May of 87. And we're March 29th of 87. So not too much longer than this. And he's fired for what's called a dress code violation.
Hold the phone. Dress code violation?
Yep.
In the back?
Well, I'm just saying, if you see what he's wearing right now, I'd write him up too.
Well, if you're fired by Vince for a dress code violation, they were looking for shit to get rid of you for.
Well, we don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
But in fairness, well, let's just.
What do you think? He just showed up backstage with his dick hanging out, maybe?
I mean, nobody.
Possibly his cheeks of his ass hanging out. I don't know.
Based on what I'm seeing right now, nobody would even notice.
It's possible. Oh my. Going back in time, and I know what you said. This is a shitty show. I happen to really enjoy it. I can't wait to see Steamboat and the Macho Man. Boy, Adrian. Whew. And there's why the announcers should not be at ringside. The announcers should be way up out of the way.
What do you think of the presentation so far? You're big on talking about the production stuff.
Well, I think that they're doing a pretty good job of it. And I think the fact that the venue is so big, it kind of trumps anything bad that happens production-wise. You can get away with a lot just because of the look of this thing. I mean, let's face it, it doesn't look to me, and of course I know it's going to get dark, but it doesn't look to me like the ring is lit at all. It just looks like they're using natural lighting for the building. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is some light truss around it, but it just seems all to be one light. Much.
It feels like, the majority of the lighting for the building is just because it's daytime and it's coming in through the roof.
Right. Yeah, I think we're saying the same thing. And of course, Hogan, that obviously happened at night. Steamboat and the Macho Man happened at night. This is back when, let's see, I guess it started like at 4:00 in the afternoon.
That's a good question. Let me find out.
Yeah, I think it was around that time. So by the time, 6 o'clock came around.
That's about what it is now, though, you know?
Yeah.
Starts so damn early. Yeah.
So the idea here was Piper was going.
You nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Piper was going to get his hair cut here, or they were going to try to cut Piper's hair, or he was going to retire. I don't know what the stipulations were in this match. I guess I could look it up.
Yeah, you could, just pretend to care a little bit.
I do care, man.
It's a hair versus hair match.
Okay. Very cool. And that's it. And now Brutus the Barber Beefcake has come in.
He wasn't the barber before this. This is what made him the barber.
This is what made him the barber?
Yes.
Okay.
He was just a dick dancer prior to this. He was a heel dick. Oh my God.
Ooh.
Dude, when just calm down about what you just saw. But Adonis hitting the clippers against the top rope and then pausing and then throwing them into his head. Comically bad. 1, 2, and 3. There it is. That's the end. He's out. And so now Brother Brudi is going to go from dick dancer to barber right before our eyes, because they're going to give him a little shave and a haircut.
Dun, dun. Cow in the barnyard.
Can I tell you my grandma's version of that?
Yeah, what was that?
Shave and a haircut, 6 bits when you milk. Grandma's cow has 6 tits. When you milk her, she shits. My grandma told me that when I was a kid. I think it was 4 bits, then 6 bits, and then you think it's going to be 8 bits, but no, she shits.
Yes. So we are seeing Brutus the Dick Dancer become Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
And the deal is using battery operated shaver after Adonis is sweaty and they just can't get it to clip. And so some hair's coming, but it's not the bald scalping they were hoping for. So years later, they realized they got to have something a little more powerful.
Right.
There was a hair match with Raven in TNA back in the day. Did you ever see that?
Never did see it. No.
Well, they learned there, what not to do too, because it's so painful at the end of the match. Raven's head is literally bleeding with every pass. Cause they're taking skin off, they're scalping him, but they had to get the hair off, but they took fucking skin too.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't see that.
Oh, we should watch it for sure.
No, let's not. So they're determined to get more than just that, right? I mean, one would think they just go zip, zip. We got plenty of hair and that's all we need, but they're going to keep on going.
Now they got scissors.
Yeah.
So the deal is, and I know a lot of people are like, why did they do this? Well, they wanted to turn Beefcake, brother. I wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a fun spot, waiting on him to turn around and see himself in the mirror with less hair.
Oh,
awesome. So anyway, the idea is Piper's leaving. He's going to go to Hollywood, make movies and film They Live with John Carpenter. And he thinks, oh, this is my big break. I'll be done with wrestling. I can just do the Hollywood gig and make a bunch of money and work 4 months a year. Well, that didn't work out. So he comes back, starts wrestling again. But how do we come out of this and give everybody something to do? Well, we'll involve Beefcake, taken from a heel dick dancer, teamed with the man with an arm on the back of his robe. And we'll give him some shears, call him Brutus the fucking Barber Beefcake. He'll be a baby face and he can feud with Adrian Adonis because he'll be the one who actually cut the hair.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the plan. And then there was a dress code violation and he was fired.
Interested to know about the dress code violation. Who the fuck is that?
That's a fan who jumped in the ring.
Oh my God.
But what could
Wide shot.
Yeah. What could Piper do except hug the guy, you know? Obviously, if he was a heel, he would have beat the shit out of him, but he's a babyface. Look at Pat Patterson. It's like, yeah, do this. And it's like, dude, Pat, we can see you. You're on camera.
Jack Lanza was a good agent as well. He was very good. Smart guy. They depended on him for a lot. As you can see, it's getting darker. Now they got the spotlight on the tram. The Conrad goes to the mailbox tram.
That'd be amazing. I got to get that now just because we've hyped it up here.
You do. You've got to get it, man. You absolutely have to get it.
Is Black Jack Lanza married?
Married?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Why?
I heard a great story about him once, and I wasn't sure if I could share it or not.
About the, did you hear the same story I heard?
Oh, you go first.
About the, he was very, I don't, is he still alive?
Yeah, he's 83.
Okay. I'm not going to tell the story then.
He's 83. He ain't listening.
Well, I just understood that he liked chambermaids. Is that the same story that you heard?
You're saying hotel maids?
Yes. Uh-huh.
So he would expose himself to the maids?
No, but he would have flings with them. I understand.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What I heard.
Well, here's the gimmick I heard. And he would bring them up to the room.
Mm-hmm.
He would pour them some scotch in like a little plastic, like mouthwash cup from the bathroom.
Yep.
Hand it to him and say, "All right, drop the laundry."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is the fucking best line ever. Drop the laundry?
Yeah.
Dude, I did spit take the first time I heard it. I wrote it down. Drop the laundry?
I used to, I had often heard too that, the larger the maids to him, the better.
We all would have got along, huh?
Fuck.
You okay?
Almost did a Conrad Thompson in the basement. Right there.
So
all right.
Dangerous Danny Davis out here with the Hart Foundation, who just went in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that set of tag belts right there are some of the most collectible. I know WWE still has one of these. This is before they went all gold, and this is before they went dual plated, and it's definitely different side plates. There's just more silver and black to them, but pretty, they're commonly referred to as the Bulldog tags. By the way, let me just tell you, as a kid, I thought Dangerous Danny Davis here was a complete jackass. And it was I didn't know the term then, but man, he had go away heat with me.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those guys you could just look at and say, fuck him.
This match coming up, by the way, is the third longest on the card. The absolute longest is Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage. It's only 14.5 minutes. Hogan and Andre go 12. This one's going to go 8:52.
I like the pace.
Do you want to guess what this match got in the Observer?
This match got 2.5 stars.
2 3/4.
Okay.
So you're real close and you didn't even watch it.
Yeah, I know.
It's up because I promise you this. When we finish with you, there's going to be nothing left of it. You understand that?
Boy, Jimmy Hart was one of the hardest working men in wrestling, was he not?
Oh my God. What a promoter. What a promoter. Tito Santana. Wow. And the Bulldogs. Tito, one of the nicest guys in wrestling as well. Really a good guy. I have a lot of time for Tito Santana. Wow, how many people here are gone? Yikes.
You mean passed away?
Passed away, yeah.
Tito's still with us.
Yeah, but the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that dog's dead too.
Yeah, I know that. The dog's dead. Yeah, and Jim Neidhart's passed away.
I remember where I was when I found out Neidhart passed away.
Really?
I was in Chicago.
The home of the first Starrcast, by the way.
Yep. Sure.
I didn't see enough Dynamite Kid matches to be able to really get to know how great of a worker he was.
Can we one day for Patreon watch him in Tiger Mask?
Sure.
I would really enjoy
Where?
that.
Where is that from?
Japan.
I know it's from Japan, but what show was it on? Is it on the network? Is it?
No, it's not on the network, but don't worry about it.
All right.
I'll get you a link. I know people who know people who know people.
Oh, I bet you do. So he and Tiger Mask considered one of the great matches of all time?
Yeah.
What, do what?
Yes.
Okay.
Affirmative.
All right.
Correct.
You know, one thing I've noticed here about it, you may have kind of alluded to this earlier, is that not many close-up shots here. This shot that we're seeing, the static shot, this hard camera shot, is kind of the money shot here, the shot they're using the most.
I like
it. Then they widen out here, but you know, they in this day and age, they get really closer to guys now, in on their face, and you know, get into the. And I guess back then, you know, because kayfabe was still alive, they wanted to shoot it wider so you wouldn't hear the guys talk.
And you wouldn't see stuff connect. But I mean, here's my thing. That wide shot, that's the same view I would have if I had a great seat in the lower level. Like this is exactly what I would be looking at if I was lower level. So I'm not mad. I like this shot.
Yeah, I do too.
Makes me feel like I'm there. So what'd you think of WrestleMania over the weekend?
I thought it was long.
That's what she said.
Yeah. I thought, I thought it was okay. I just, I'm just not so sure with all they got going on now. All right. This is not, I guess you can say this is a critique on their business. I don't know. And I don't know if I even have, if any of my critiques of the business even valid anymore or not. But I think of all they got going on now, you know, when and they do all these big shows. They got a pay-per-view a month. They got everything on the network. They were in Saudi Arabia. They're in the UK. I guess in the month of May, they'll be in the UK. I just don't know if WrestleMania, with the exception of it being a WrestleMania, I just don't know if the matches are as big as they used to be. The event's big, but do the matches mean as much anymore? I think they got as much as they could out of Kofi and Daniel Bryan, but I just don't know. I mean, pat on the back, thumbs up, great job for putting the women on top, well deserved. But I just don't know if the matches, in other words, it may have been a minus 4.5 star match, but to me, it doesn't. Nothing that they had this past weekend, to me, had the impact of Hogan Andre, or Hogan and The Rock. Or, I don't know, think of another great WrestleMania match. The stuff doesn't stand out to me anymore. Is that valid to say that?
Yeah.
There's nothing that you say, oh man, that's going to be great. It's just, there's just too much. There's too much going on. But hey, what me worry? I'm a billionaire, and you know the network's making tons of money, and everybody's making, I don't know. So that's my thought on that. WrestleMania is a wonderful event. There was something that came out just a couple of weeks ago that said it was one of the biggest events in sports in the world today, bigger than the World Series. And the event itself is big, but the matches sometimes leave a lot to be desired. So, not faulting the guys, just faulting. Nothing means much. I hate to even credit him with this, but I was golfing one time with Greg Gagne. And we were golfing in Asheville, North Carolina. And this was probably right before that event, the White Castle affair.
Yep.
And we were golfing, and he said something to me that really stuck with me. And I didn't always agree with everything that Greg Gagne said or did, but he said to me, you've got to pull back. You've got to pull it way back or nothing means anything anymore. And we haven't pulled anything back in wrestling. We've just gotten bigger and bigger and more and more and bigger and bigger. And I'm talking about the WWF, and I'm just not so sure it means that much anymore. I don't know if it matters anymore. It's not about going to see a great match. It's about going to WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. But, I mean, how about this? When you go to the Super Bowl, it's not about going to see that. It's about
going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really a credit to them, though, just building something.
Yeah. Hey, I agree. I just, I don't know. There's just so much to see. It's the world we live in. My God. I go back to this, that I don't think baseball is what it used to be. And I work in baseball now, and I don't think it's what it used to be, because back then you didn't see everything on TV. And now you see every play, every out on TV. And to me, it just doesn't mean as much. So where was Dynamite Kid's back problems by the time this match happened?
Oh, not good. He's out here held together by, duct tape.
Right.
Yeah, they take it easy on him because, I mean, he's dragging himself out here just to get paid.
Sure.
I mean, Mel's even right. It's very sad watching a guy who in his prime was as good a worker as this decade has now been reduced to being a virtual cripple.
Right.
Even worse, a chemically stuffed cripple.
Mm. That is a shame. Well, Tito and Davey Boy doing most of the work here, obviously.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. They get Dynamite involved on the outside. I don't know if you've heard the stories, and I think Bruce has probably told the stories before. Look at this. Fans going crazy. Oh, fuck. That was pretty stiff. At least it looked that way. I heard Davey Boy, Dynamite Kid was a pretty big ribber, too, at one time.
Absolutely, he was.
Yeah, yeah.
But brutal ribs, not funny ribs.
Right, not funny ribs. Yeah, right.
Did you hear about, well, you probably did. Well,
no, go ahead. What?
Nah, I'll leave it alone. Let's talk about, Tito Santana.
All right.
You know Tito? You ever spending time with Tito?
Just when I was in the WWF, and he was, like I said, he was a really a nice guy, really friendly. He worked pretty hard. He had a lot of time as far as making appearances and promotion. There's a 1, 2, 3, and Danny Davis gets the cover. But that's all I can tell you about him. Why? What story have you heard?
Oh, nothing. I was just didn't know if you knew anything about him.
No,
I'm not crapping on Tito.
No, I think he became an agent too.
No, I think he teaches school.
I think he does now, but I think he was an agent for a while, for a short period of time.
Yeah, he probably decided that shit ain't for me.
Yeah, Jesus. I remember one time thinking, I'd like to do that, be an agent. Nope. After going backstage and seeing the agents, seeing the life that they lead and how miserable they were, I thought, I don't want to do that. Or, I'm sorry, they're not agents anymore, are they? They're producers. Wow. The Bulldog. They weren't as crisp on the replays back then as they are now. Well, of course, they don't have the tools.
Right.
I mean, back then they were using videotape and putting things together and going from one video machine to another. And there's your 1, 2, 3. Kerwin selfies. obviously in the truck. The director. I don't know if Kevin Dunn's in the truck at this time or not. Kevin was mostly post-production back at that time. But Nelson Swegler, part of this team.
Swegler.
Dr. Nelson Swegler.
Dr. Nelson.
Something else, man. Hey, there was a story that apparently this, I don't know if you've heard this story or not, this Superdome, like many of the arenas, had an airlock. Whoa, wait a minute here. Let's go to this interview.
Extraordinary athlete of all time. He is not elected until this date to challenge Hulk Hogan for the heavyweight championship. And this afternoon in WrestleMania III, Bobby Heenan, your man, Andre the Giant, will be doing just that.
You bet he's going to be doing just that. He's going to become the heavyweight champion of the world. And I'll tell you why. First of all, the man is undefeated in over 15 years as a professional athlete. Hulk Hogan has never been in the ring or met a man bigger than him, stronger than him, taller than him, that weighs more than him, and with a burning will inside more than Andre the Giant. You see, Hogan, few short hours from now, that clock is ticking, and it's ticking in our direction, not yours. Hulkamania is over. Hulkamania is dead. The door's going to be shut on the history books of Hulk Hogan once and for all. There is a new heavyweight champion of the world, the odds-on favorite in Las Vegas and all over the whole wrestling world. They're picking Andre the Giant. Nobody can defeat this man. Nobody even can come close to defeating this man. And Hogan, I know what's happening to you now because it's happening to me. The butterflies are in my stomachs. The adrenaline's flowing through my veins, and I'm getting ready because I'm going to manage the heavyweight champion of the world. And Hogan, hey, you had 3 good years. You got nothing to look back on, but it's all over. Andre the Giant, the new heavyweight champion of the world.
The biggest heavyweight title bout of all time, Andre the Giant to meet Hulk Hogan.
Pretty cool, man.
Yeah, Heenan did a great job of making it seem bigger than life. Really did, making it seem that the challenge was insurmountable for Hogan. Dr. Slick, WrestleMania. So anyway, this arena or this stadium, like the Georgia Dome and like the RCA Dome in Indianapolis at one time, had the inflatable roof.
Right.
And thus you would go from one door into this other little room and then open the other door and go into the arena.
That's right.
And it would be like an airlock, right?
I did that over at the Tokyo Dome.
Right. I heard the story that Jim Barnett got stuck in the room and couldn't open the door. It was in there, one of those little rooms for hours, trying to get out, pulling on the door.
For hours?
For hours. Like, oh, my boy. But I don't know if it was hours or not. It could have been, minutes, 20 minutes or whatever. But he, Jim Barnett was not a big, strapping, strong man. He was just kind of a little guy, and he couldn't get the door open. And they told me that story.
They told me that story.
They told me that. Coco Beware. He's got the bird.
He's the Birdman.
He's the Birdman.
Do you remember the Birdman, the bird's name?
Yeah, it was Paulie.
No.
Freddie?
No.
Frankie?
Yeah.
Got it. God damn. See, I'm not as old and decrepit as you may think. Jesse's still rocking in his chair, man.
It's just something he did, right?
Something he did. He always rocked. There he goes again. See it? Rock. Hacksaw Butch Reed. God, we saw him in a bonus episode at World Class Championship Wrestling. We've seen him in Doom. Just can't get rid of this guy, can you? He's everywhere.
Coco showed nothing and Reed looked terrible. Match itself was a dud, although the post-match stuff where Santana ripped up Slick's clothes was okay. I'm just saddened to see what injuries have done to these former super talents. Bluntly, Reed stinks. Half a star, but only for the post-match antics.
Yeah, well, I guess many people could say that because of Doom and WCW, that maybe Reed's best years were ahead of him. Possibly. Not sure. That's a well-trained bird right there, man.
A well-trained bird.
It's either a well-trained bird or he's hooked to his perch. I don't know.
Well-trained bird, he says.
Well-trained bird. Is Coco Beware in the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
And to me, he's always the example whenever somebody's like, do they deserve it? I always got to, well, Coco Beware.
Oh, by the way, congratulations to the new class in the Hall of Fame just inducted. Well deserved.
All righty.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Hey, did you see, what'd you think when you found out Wahoo McDaniel went in over the weekend? You didn't know that until I just told you?
I didn't know that.
Wow. Well, yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. They didn't do like the big stage presentation. Maybe that's why it slipped under the radar. They just did like, you know, the legacy, blah, blah, blah. So they just like rattle off a bunch of names.
Uh-huh.
But he was on there. I mean, officially, Wahoo McDaniel is in the Hall of Fame.
Well, until he gets his day on the dais and...
Well, he can't, you know, he's fucking dead. So.
Well, I mean, his family could. Right?
Yeah. Well, just so you know, that means he's not getting on stage. Okay. No one from his family.
I know he's not getting on stage.
No, I'm just saying like his family's not either because he's in already. So they can't put him in again. I mean, I guess they could, but because they put in Brett twice and
well, I just
Sean twice.
I just want to congratulate everyone who's in the Hall of Fame, and I think it's great. But I don't pay that much attention to it. I don't go to the Hall of Fame. I don't watch the Hall of Fame ceremonies. I got, you know, things to do.
Saying that like you're, you know, maybe quarter hot.
I'm not a quarter hot. I'm not a quarter hot at all. I know there have been some guys, some gals, some people on social media. Freddie wants to look in the camera here. On social media that have lobbied for me to get into the Hall of Fame. I am humbled by that effort, but I think it's all for naught. And that's all I got to say about that.
Alrighty.
So Coco Beware here in the Hall of Fame. Hacksaw Butch Reed, who Meltzer is obviously shit all over.
I don't know why that's so funny.
Yeah, Hacksaw moving slow here. I get it. Who's our referee?
Hey, can I give you a spoiler?
Yeah.
It's about Starrcast.
Oh, good. I like those kind of spoilers.
There's going to be entertainment at the Double or Nothing after party.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Somebody we know?
You'll be pretty familiar. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. Oh, my imagination is running wild right now. What? There's a roll up in a 2 count.
You might not even need Blue Chew.
Oh, man. I think I'm kind of, oh, my God. Really? Are you serious? Are you serious? Or are you just bullshitting me here?
No, I'm very serious.
Oh my God.
I'm looking at confirmations right now.
Oh,
and I was like, man, I need to tell him this, but we're on the air. So I guess I'll just try to tell him in code.
Okay. Tell me in code. I think oh my God. Would you text me that person's number?
What's the deal with you on everybody's number?
Well, you got everybody's number. I guess I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of jealous, I guess. I don't know.
When have you asked me for a number and you didn't get it?
No, you always give me the number. No, here we go. Here's the entertaining part.
I wish you would call wrestling that way. Okay, fans, that sucked, but this won't. Stay tuned. Hey, here we go.
Here's the entertaining. Here, we've been waiting on this part. Boy, this match sucked, but look at this. Huh. All right, Reverend Slick.
It's dark in there now, Bubba.
Yes, it is.
It looks so different daytime to nighttime, does it not?
Oh yeah.
When you look down that aisle too, and it's just dark, and he's like trying to, the spotlight's trying to keep up with him as he's stumbling away. It's like,
yeah,
it's a different building. Well, you want to guess what's next? Do you remember?
Let's see. We've had the tag team matches. Is this going to be Savage and?
Woo! You goddamn right it is.
Damn.
I'm ready to get it too, son.
Okay.
Listen, there's no way we're going to be able to do this justice. So
it's not Jake the Snake and Honky Tonk first. Okay. I believe you. I shouldn't question you. Get you mad. Get you pissed off. Ricky Steamboat. Okay. A story about Ricky Steamboat and the Macho Man Randy Savage that I've been told that this was a match that they had worked on for a long time in house shows. They would do a spot here and let's put that spot in the match at WrestleMania. They go to another house show. They work a program or they work a match and they do a couple of sequences and they insert that in. So this was like the culmination of these guys working together for a little while. And that's one of the things that made the match great. Another thing that obviously made the match great was both these guys could really go. So I'd often heard that story. Do you ever heard that story?
No.
Yeah. There is a wrestler out there who I know has been wrestling on the independent scene, who tells me that there was a notebook and I often wanted to ask Steamboat this, and I should have asked him at Ric Flair's party, that there was a notebook that Steamboat kept for this match where he and the Savage would go and do a house show and they would do a sequence and Steamboat would go back out of the match and write down that sequence and he would have all these notes about he and the matches that he and Savage had leading up to this. And there was a notebook that they had referred to put this match together. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's what this person claims. That's kind of the story that I think most wrestlers on the independent scene and maybe the WWE as well think that this, we talk about, oh, well, back then, you had a match like Steamboat and Savage and it was one of the greatest matches of all time and it was not choreographed. And the talk is, well, yeah, it was choreographed. It's just not choreographed the way they are today. Now, who we got here? Oh, this is a doctor. Dr. Zahorian, maybe? I doubt it.
I love you for even fucking knowing the name.
Okay. You just never know. I mean, they didn't put a video font of the doctor. It could have been Dr. Z. So here we go. Steamboat and the Macho Man Randy Savage. Look at the one and only. Oh God. He was a very smart man.
You're talking about George the Animal Steel.
Yes, he was. Very smart man. School teacher.
I wasn't arguing that. I'm just saying some people aren't watching with us. They're just listening. So when you say, oh, he was smart, but you didn't say his name, I was just trying
Right. George the Animal Steel, who just came by with Miss Elizabeth, very, very intelligent guy. Had an autograph signing with him a number of years ago. And here we go. Oh, I'd love to hear him talk.
I don't think you're ready for this after party. I'm having to pick out pictures right now.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't ready.
Oh, I think I can be ready. Wait, but hang on a second. Now wait. Whoa. Hey, as exciting as this after party sounds to me,
mm-hmm.
Keep in mind that I'm there to work and I'm there on your staff. And I know how the first Starrcast was. I was not there to work. I was just kind of there, but I went up to the meetings and the meetings lasted late into the night and you got up early in the morning. And how are you going to be able to have an after party and shoehorn an after party in to all the work and all the effort and all the crazy hours that you and your staff have to keep for a Starrcast event? How are you going to work that in?
Well, we did an after party last year. Thanks for paying attention.
I wasn't there. I left early.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it happened last year. It'll happen again. And here's how we do it. I don't go. It's
you don't
awesome.
go to the party.
No, I make sure it's right. I make sure it's good, but I can't stay up there and get shit housed and enjoy. I mean, I wish I could, but dude, I got stuff going on as soon as I wake up. So, I mean, I got to go to bed early, like it's Christmas the next day, and I'm 9 years old. I mean,
but wait a second. This is after
Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing. This is on a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Or Friday?
Saturday night.
Saturday night, and you have one more day of Starrcast.
That's right.
Which is going to start later on Sunday.
It'll start at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Okay. I thought it started like at 1 o'clock. 10 a.m. on Sunday. So based on all the days that you have, I'm sure they're all big, but it's probably the shorter day, right?
No, the shortest day is Thursday by far.
Okay. All right.
Because Thursday we get started, late. Meet and greets are at 4.
Right.
And we're done at, midnight if you go to all the jam session stuff.
Okay.
But Sunday, we start at 10 and, it's like I say, it's an early day, but it's not late night. But, whoa, son, that after party's going to be legit.
That's pretty cool.
You know what? I'm going to predict it right now. Somebody's going to get pregnant after that after party.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's fired up.
Fire.
Oh, they got the shit music in. I ain't even listening.
Okay.
Let's just pretend. This is going to be the best match of my career. People will talk about it forever. I mean, serious business.
Mm-hmm.
I know everybody, and I mean almost everybody, regards the trilogy of matches that Steamboat had in '89 with Ric Flair as being the best matches ever. But this one was clearly seen by more people.
Sure it was.
So when you think about, best match in WrestleMania history, up to this point, this is it for sure. And I think most people would argue, that this is the best match until maybe 10. And I think some people might argue that Brett and Owen was better. A lot of people would argue that Razor and Shawn is better, but I think some people disqualify that one because they had the gimmick of the ladder match. But then you'd have to go all the way to WrestleMania 25, I believe, with Shawn and The Undertaker for it to be a match that people still talk about in that regard. And I really want to watch that one sometime with you on Patreon, because I know you didn't see a lot of The Undertaker matches, and you certainly didn't see a lot of Shawn Michaels matches. You watched your first single Shawn Michaels match since we've been doing the show. So to see those guys really at their absolute best in 2009 is probably something we should make time to see. That right there is the most famous Intercontinental title ever. If you're a belt nerd, you know that. We've just had the Bulldog tags we were talking about earlier as being the most collectible. Well, that is the most collectible version of the Intercontinental as well. Instead of the tooling around the edge of the belt being shaped like seashells, it's just a straight line, and the WWF logo at the top, instead of it being raised, it's actually lowered and painted red. So a red Intercontinental made by Reggie Parks on the secondary market would cost you a pretty penny. Here we go. What this match is most notable for, Tony, and I think you would appreciate this, the number of false finishes. So we haven't seen any yet. Of course, we're just now letting the clock start to run, and Macho Man trying to separate Elizabeth from George the Animal Steel, putting her in the opposite corner. And here we go. We're going to lock up. Let's look at the false finishes here. See if we can keep track.
Okay.
Supposedly, by the way, everything in this match was planned ahead of time. None of it called in the ring.
Right.
Macho Man was a compulsive planner, and that was a little bit unique for Steamboat. And I know some people like to rib Diamond Dallas Page for being a planner, but here's the deal. I don't care how we get there. I just want a good match.
Right.
And no one can argue that these guys didn't nail it here. So whether they wrote it down or choreographed it or planned it or called it in the ring, it was fucking awesome.
And you talk about the false finishes in this match. Maybe this is a match that set the standard for all the false finishes we see now, because as you know, we see tons of them now.
Yeah. And they're nonstop action. There's not a lot of downtime here. Here you go. One
count. All right. There's one.
It was cool too, because it was just, sort of out of nowhere, and he didn't give it the traditional wrestling 2 3/4 count. No, I'm going to kick out at 1.
Mm-hmm. That brings realism into it.
It does. Like, come on, dude. That ain't going to work.
Right.
Oh, man. He took that straight on, dude.
Yes, he did.
I loved when Ricky would pick people up like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody uses that move anymore. Like he's trying to yank the shoulder out of its socket.
Oh, yeah.
There's your full arm dragon twist.
Yes. Ricky Dragon. There's a lot of things that have been lost in wrestling. They really have. I mean, everybody does the collar and elbow tie up, and everybody, they get down to the mat side headlock. They still do that, trying to bring it back to a wrestling match, but that's about all they do. There's a lot that they just don't do anymore.
Hey, those boots that Steamboat's wearing there, some guy tried to sell me a few years ago for like 15 grand.
Yeeks.
Guess what I don't have?
Those boots.
Yeah, you got it.
Guess what he still has?
Those boots.
That's right.
I didn't tell you, but I got something awesome the other day.
Wow.
I got to tell you off air. I don't have it in my possession yet, but I've made the deal. I just got to go pick it up.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it and give it away, but I'll tweet a picture out or I'll post it on Patreon or something.
Okay, do that.
When we get off air, I got to tell you, because you're going to be like, no, you didn't. Because it was like, holy shit, how did I get this? So, hey, if you're listening, you got some cool old wrestling collectibles you'd like to turn into cash. They don't know what you got down there at the pawn shop, but old Conrad does. Hit him up. And hey, it's Conrad on Twitter. Let's do a promotion for myself to buy shit. Look how loose the ropes are. How different is that?
Well, the WWF's ropes were always kind of looser than the NWA's, I always thought.
Well, I wouldn't agree with that necessarily. You guys had some loose ones too, but I'm just saying now with all the guys doing springboards off everything, they'd fucking die.
Yeah, right.
Let me just tell you, that is the most classic Macho Man look to me. Those yellow boots with the stars and those tights.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had the action figure that looked identical to that too. Isn't it amazing how understated but successful Liz was? Like, people talk about her as being one of the best managers of all time, and she literally had to do nothing, just look concerned. I mean, nobody has a favorite Liz promo, or she just looked concerned in the corner, clapped when she needed to. That was it. False finish.
I did an interview with her, a live interview with her, my 1 year in the WWE.
False finish.
And that's 3. And I remember doing the interview, and I remember she and I had to go back in Vince's office in the backstage area and rehearse the interview in front of him. It was completely scripted and rehearsed, from what I said, how I introduced her, to what she said. And that just sticks with me about how beautiful she was and how well she did and remembered what she had to say. And she was nervous, and I was obviously nervous. And I wonder, that's got to be on a wrestling challenge somewhere, I think.
Really explains why the ropes were loose now that we see Macho Man tied up in them, huh?
Yep. Well, we saw that a number of times. We saw guys tied up in the ropes. Wasn't Andre tied up in the ropes? Here's a false finish. 1, 2. There's a fourth one. Wasn't Andre tied up in the ropes one time with Jake the Snake and the Snake? And here's another one. 1, 2. There's 5. 6. Go get it again. Here we go. They're in their element now.
It adds a level of realism after every move you go for a cover.
Yep.
What do you think of Joey Styles' commentary? In more recent years, before he sort of left wrestling, seemingly for good this time, people would mock his commentary on social media. And I know that's popular, just to mock or shit on anything and everything. And
sure,
everybody gets their fair share of it, especially in the wrestling space, myself included, you included, everybody. But, whenever Joey was calling a match and someone would cover someone for a pin, Joey would yell, "Cover!" Like to let everybody know this could be it. He's got him covered, but he would just yell the word "cover." And there were lots of people who were real critical of that.
Really?
You called wrestling forever. What do you think of that?
I don't think that's bad at all. I think I may have said that a number of times as well.
Who would win a back hair off? Dutch Mantell or George Animal Steel?
No, Dutch Mantell would. Dutch would crop his hair in the back in the shape sometime of an hourglass.
You mean he would have it shaved into an hourglass?
An hourglass figure, yeah, in the back. Yep. Dutch Mantell took care of his hair, his back hair. So we've had 6 false finishes.
Going to the top rope.
Yeah, I think one thing that's
double sledge,
one of his primary moves. I think one of the things that made this match great was the referee too. Hebner was visibly out of breath and spent, and that just shows how fast-paced and reckless and crazy this match was. His reaction to all this.
What do you think of the ring on a platform here?
I'm for it. I think it's kind of like the now when they have, and they're going to have it, or they had it. I guess if this is airing Monday, they had it at Minneapolis at the Final Four. They put the court on a platform.
What do you mean this is airing Monday? We've talked about WrestleMania in past tense all day.
Well, I mean, this is airing on Monday after WrestleMania, but Monday
we taped it on Monday. It's airing on Wednesday.
But for our fans on Patreon, it's on Monday, right?
We're not talking about them.
We're not? Okay.
Listen,
never mind what I was going to say. But anyway.
If we're going to lie, you got to get your shit together. Okay. I don't think we're ready to reveal that we taped this shit on Wednesday. And I've been asking you what you thought of WrestleMania and you didn't know what to do. And I just did it for my own fucking humor. So what'd you think of WrestleMania? Knowing good and well that shit didn't happen. Hey, did you see Jimmy Hart over the weekend? Well, you know about WrestleCon. He wasn't even at WrestleCon. He's not booked. It was a trick question.
Then why even ask me?
Because I'm fucking with you, Tony. I'm fucking with you. Did we just miss a false finish?
No, we did not. Okay. They were outside. They fought in. We're getting ready to have a couple of them here, though. Watch. Here's one. 1, 2, and that's 7 unofficially.
I thought it was 8, but we'll go 7.
Well, if you want to go with 8, it's fine.
Boy, you just gave up real quick on that.
Well, you are the GOAT. And I do mean greatest of all time. Watch out. Here we go. Boy, Steamboat could sell, couldn't he? Wait a minute, that's a disqualification. Nope. No disqualification. Incidental back body drop. Didn't throw him over the top rope on purpose. Just trying to clarify the rules here. There you go. Bring it back in the ring. Awesome. Jumped over the referee. 1, 2. Another false finish.
About 8.
We'll make that 9. We'll go with the Conrad count of 9. Steamboat again. 1, 2. We saw this earlier that Steamboat early in the matches against Flair would try to get the pin. This match stands a test of time, buddy.
Without question.
Yeah, you go back and you think, you know what? In our mind, it was always one of the greatest matches of all time, and now we're getting ready to watch it. Will it be as good as we thought? Yeah, it is. It's as good as we thought. One, 2. There's 11. I'm glad Hebner didn't kick the... there's another one. 1, 12, 13, inside cradle, 14, Yeah, the fans are into this too. And why shouldn't they be? Catapult. Everybody take a breath here. After that, about what, 4 or 5? There's another one. 5 false finishes. There's 15. Almost hit the referee. 16. And 17. This is fucking cool. See how the referee? See how he's just kind of like, oh, God. He's probably legitimately, blown up here, but she's staggering. Yeah, Hebner did a good job of selling this whole match. Oh, the referee bump. Wow. That's a hell of a ref bump. So we've had unofficially 17 false finishes here, Conrad. Referee is down.
Because he's fucking exhausted.
He is exhausted. Here's the Macho Man with his big elbow coming up. Wow. Hard to work that one. No referee. Count that as a false finish. 1, 2. I will. I'll count that as 18. All right. One more time. This time, whoa, I thought he was going to go to the other side with an elbow. What's he doing here? Whoa, my God. Went for the bell, and George Animal Steel takes the bell. Fuck it, he's getting the bell, man. Now our referee's back. Here we go. 18 false finishes. 1, 2, 3.
What a fucking match, man.
19 false finishes. Look at the fans.
They're
standing. Yep.
Banana. And by the way, you want to guess what Meltzer gave it?
Oh, God.
What?
He had to give it 5 stars.
4.5.
Yeah. Okay. Every bit. Read to me what he wrote about. You got it in front of you?
It's been almost 1 year since I've seen a WWF match the caliber of this. In fact, this match was better than any match on Crockett's Starrcade show last Thanksgiving. Only criticism, which isn't of the match at all, but of Steamboat's interview, which started things off silly. Tons of near falls on both sides, some exceptional spots, and match built up in excitement from the beginning. When he's on, Savage is one incredible talent, the equal of anyone in this business besides Flair. After a referee bump, Savage got a false finish using his elbow drop. When he went for a second one, George Steele pushed him off the top rope. Steamboat quickly cradled Savage to capture the title. Savage had the advantage the majority of the match. Both guys did an excellent job in making it so even. Though Savage lost, he lost none of his steam because he appeared stronger throughout the match. 4.5 stars.
Awesome.
It's a 5-star match though.
There it is. I don't know how you can dock a half star for anything, except maybe he docked that half star for that, as he said, silly Steamboat interview.
Let's call it like it is.
Yeah, 5-star match.
He's my buddy, but Meltzer had an anti-WWF bias here, and he'll deny it. But I mean, he's just negative about everything that they're presenting. What a shot that is!
Isn't that great?
The way the cameraman stays put, and the spotlight follows them, and they're scooting away on the cart. Man, that's like out of a movie. It's tremendous. Yeah. Really good shot.
I think Meltzer had the WWF bias because of his hatred for Hogan.
Yeah, he hated Hogan, and I think he hated Vince, and he didn't like this type of wrestling, and he liked it a little more down and dirty like Crockett. Alice Cooper here with Jake the Snake.
At WrestleMania 3, when you go against the Honky Tonk Man, and Jake, in light of all that's happened in the past, especially in the Snake Pit, where the Honky Tonk Man blasted you with that guitar, I expect a shootout.
You don't think I don't remember that, huh?
I know you remember.
You don't think I don't remember what happened? I still remember. And that's the reason this man is there, because I'll tell you something, Okerlund. I don't think Jimmy Hart, number one, he's got the man to take care of me in the Honky Tonk. And number two, the Honky Tonk is not the man that thought of this whole thing. I'm telling you, Jimmy Hart had to plant the seed because Honky Tonk hasn't got enough guts to take a shot at me. But Honky Tonk, when you take a shot at a man like me, you better make that shot count, and you didn't. You see, I'm still walking, and that's all I need to do is to get in that ring this afternoon, my man, and have my way with you.
Alice Cooper, I'm sure you're going to be keeping tabs on Jimmy, mouth of the South Hart. I noticed the spurs.
Yes, I'll be watching him all the way. This will be his nightmare. This is also my hometown, and the hometown of heavy metal.
Oh, I love it.
We're going to ride, brother.
Jesse, this has been the greatest wrestling extravaganza.
Well, Alice didn't look like he was too excited about being there.
Well, I'll tell you, Gorilla, it's not
The thing I also noticed here, Conrad, is that this was before the exploding guitars, wasn't it? That guitar that he whacked Jake with didn't break at all.
Jake would blame his addiction problems on that that guitar shot. He said that, it really fucked his neck up, but he couldn't take any time off because he's afraid he'd lose his spot, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So he started to use painkillers, and eventually he does take a little time off. And Jake would tell you that he got on the gas while he was off and laid out by the pool. And when he came back, Vince was mad at him and said, "You're bigger than Hogan. You got to lose some of that." So he made him stop working out. This is according to Jake. So he wouldn't overshadow Hulk Hogan. And then, when he was at the Survivor Series, they wanted to bring in a 30-foot snake and have the entire team bring it in. Here's a Honky Tonk Man promo.
Honky Tonk, your opponent, Jake the Snake, is in the ring, and I understand it. Betty Lou's at ringside.
That's Peggy Sue, and she's getting sick and tired of it. Now, I know that 90,000 people out there are waiting. They're waiting for one thing. They want to hear the Honky Tonk Man sing. They want to see the Honky Tonk Man dance. They want to hear the #1 hit single in America today. They want to hear That's All Right, Honky Tonk Mama, and they're going to get to hear it. They're not going to listen to any nightmare song made by Alice Cooper. Let me tell you, Alice Cooper, if you think you're going to put your hands on a colonel, you'll never get a chance, because a Honky Tonk Man is going to take care of Jake the Snake. I'm going to sing and dance for everybody out there that supported me 100%. I love everyone.
I don't want to hear the Honky Tonk Man sing this.
Really?
Yeah, really.
And we heard him sing this past weekend, which has definitely happened because we are definitely not taping on Wednesday. It's past tense. He's a Hall of Famer right now as I speak.
So, the 30-foot snake at Survivor Series. I think I know what you're going to go ahead.
So they wanted Hogan and Demolition to carry it. And, allegedly when he had one spot, it was before that, where he gave, he was in the ring with Hulk Hogan and the crowd started chanting DDT. And Jake says, I knew right then I was fucked because they were not going to stop all the momentum they had with Hogan and go with me. Mm-hmm. He was the franchise. So they made him an ally, did the whole snake thing, and then eventually had to turn him heel because Jake was just so over with the fans, and he was so muscular and so tall, and the fans were just with him so much that it wasn't Vince's plan. So he had to change everything to hold him down. Didn't want him to overshadow Hulk Hogan.
Just according to Jake.
Yeah.
Now I remember I was at Survivor Series 89. They were going to come out with a 30-foot snake. And I never will forget it because it was out. It was at the Rosemont Horizon. And I was there backstage. And they had this big crate for the snake. And they pulled this snake out. It was fucking gigantic. They were going to have people bring it to the ring. And the snake, the snake pissed all over everybody. And was pissed off, had his mouth open, and was flailing back and forth. And Vince said, put that snake back in the box. He doesn't want to work today. So they didn't use that snake. And that's one of the things backstage. I'll never forget how that snake looked and smelt and was pissed off. And that was Survivor Series of 1989. I also remember doing they shot some vignettes with Jake the Snake at the offices in or Titan TV on Hamilton Place, and I was there when they shot it. They had it in the studio, and they had a snake handler there, and had all these different snakes, like a cobra and all these different snakes. And in between takes, you could hear Jake say, "I got to be fucking crazy. I got to be fucking crazy handling all these fucking snakes." But it was the gimmick, and he went with it. But it was a very dangerous day for him. And and I think you would agree. I saw your reaction at Rocket City Wrestling, and I don't want to offend anybody who likes reptiles, but fuck a fucking snake.
No, super fuck a snake.
Yeah, fuck a fucking snake.
You know what my grandfather used to say about snakes?
Yeah.
The only good kind of snake's a dead snake.
Exactly.
Now, I know that's not popular. I get that. I'm sharing country sayings from the South, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. Fuck a fucking snake. And how about that dumbass Dave Silva putting the snake around his head?
You know what though? If you were Dave Silva, you wouldn't have anything to live for either. You just look. I mean, this man, once upon a time, took abuse from a failed podcaster.
Right.
And then I was nice to him. He liked that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he liked someone we won't speak of, Bruce. And that guy was just mean to him.
Right.
Mean to him.
I know. Threw pictures at him
last WrestleMania. Just mean. And then, he got to know Eric. Come on. Nobody's ever accused Eric of being nice.
Right.
And then he knows you, who everything you start, you quit halfway through.
Yeah. But I'm a nice guy.
You are nice when you're quitting. But so then when he sees the opportunity for a snake to just wrap around his throat, he just, he was looking for the sweet embrace of death, the sweet release.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Yeah. Well, that's Dave.
It is.
That's Dave. That's Dave we know. But I never will forget when the guy came over with the snake. I looked at you and you looked at me, and it was like immediately we both were saying the same thing. Fuck a fucking snake.
Yeah, fuck this. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Fuck that,
I mean, first of all, let's run through this. We don't know if that was a pet snake.
Didn't matter.
What I'm saying is we're in the country, son.
Right.
That snake could have been in the field out yonder.
Exactly.
What's so funny is one of our patrons, I won't say their name. He's like, Conrad, I thought you were going to take us to like some real Alabama. Well, I thought we were going to see the real Alabama. I was just quiet for a minute. And I said, what do you mean? He's like, well, I thought we were going to see like, real Southern shit. I said, dude, I just took you to a meet and three in the hood where everything there's fried. They don't ask if you want it. They put tomato and onion on every plate. They have collard greens and turnip greens on the same menu. And then after that, we drove out here to the middle of a fucking field. We're in a town that don't even have a red light. They've got a caution light, and we're watching wrestling in a metal building. And a white guy is about to wrestle a black guy, and the white guy brought a noose to the ring.
Oh, God.
And hanging in the corner is the Georgia state flag, where some people in the room thought that was an actual Confederate flag, but whatever. Dude, this is as Alabama as it gets.
I don't know what they were looking for.
What else can I fed you barbecue.
Yeah.
I mean, what, there's no more Alabama than this.
Well, that's right.
I can get you some Natty Light and we can drink them on the bed of my dad's pickup truck. I mean, that's about all I get you Alabama wise.
And they got to meet Larry Thompson too.
By the way, have we talked about the fact that Cassio Kid finally traded in his soccer mom SUV and he's got a real automobile now?
No.
He's got that number one in the book, 19 books running or whatever it is, money now. Number one morning show host in Huntsville, Alabama. And, so yeah, he went and bought him a new truck.
Well, good for him. That prick could ever show up. Maybe we'd see the truck.
Well, I don't plan to. I mean, I don't think we'll ever see it. You know.
Yeah, well, is Cassio going to? He's obviously going to be at Starrcast.
Yeah, of course.
But he's not going to drive the truck from Alabama to Vegas for that. But
can't imagine. And it's not like you're coming over anytime soon.
Well,
you know, since we're home from WrestleMania, I'm not leaving again. So I'm here. There's no shows for me from here on out, through Starrcast. So if you want to just come hang out and get away from the wife and don't act like you don't want to, then, you're welcome to.
Okay. You know, I got baseball.
Yeah.
But I mean,
why not?
Maybe I can come over after a Sunday day game or something.
I'm going to be driving, a long distance one of those weekends, and I'll think of you because I know you like to drive.
Yeah, I love to drive. And did the Honky Tonk? Oh fuck! The Honky Tonk Man win that thing, and Jake was aiming to take his fucking head off with that guitar.
Honky Tonk Man pinned Jake Roberts in 7 minutes and 2 seconds with a poorly executed cradle from behind when Jake went after Jimmy Hart. Finish was messed up, and it appeared Alice Cooper kind of screwed up in the post-match antics. Jake was real good here and carried the way. Honky is fun, but once the bell rings, he ceases to be much. 2.5 stars. How big of a deal was Alex Cooper in his day?
Oh, he was shit. School's out for summer. Fuck, man. That's you've heard the legendary stories about biting the head off of a bat at his, I wouldn't have done this, buddy. Ain't no fucking way. I would have shit my white pants right there. But you ever heard the stories about him biting a head off a bat at one of his concerts?
You know why I didn't?
Why?
Because he didn't.
He didn't do that?
Ozzy Osbourne did that.
Ozzy Osbourne did it. I thought he did it.
No.
Okay. Well, he did some crazy thing.
Yeah, he had a chicken incident.
A chicken incident?
Yeah.
What did he do to the chicken? Did he choke the chicken?
Is this real?
Brought to you by Blue Chew.
A fan threw a chicken on the stage.
Yeah.
In Toronto in 1969.
Okay. All right. And?
Well, he says he threw the chicken back into the audience, and the audience says they tore it and he says the audience tore it to pieces.
I was also told everybody spit into a cup. And he drank it.
Are you talking about Sonny right now?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because everybody's shit in a bucket and they threw it on her.
What?
Yeah, in the WWF, there was a gimmick for the Godwins. And their gimmick was they were pig farmers, right? So don't go messing with the country boy. Hillbilly Jim was their manager for a little while. And they would bring out these slop buckets. Like that's what they carried to feed the pigs. Well, the gimmick was they would take slop and then they would slop the heels. So it'd just be some concoction catering would make. And then they would throw it on the heels and fans would say, oh, it's gross, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, supposedly when she had a bunch of heat, they set that bucket in the locker room and somebody says, hey, now this is the bucket we're going to use on Sonny. Don't anybody do anything with this. So of course, all the guys took turns pissing in it, jacking off, taking shits in it, whatever. And then they slopped her with their, bodily fluids.
Oh, that's a real story, isn't it?
Yeah. Wrestling stiff, son.
Oh man. I didn't need to hear that story, but it took the edge off the snake there a little bit. Having to look at the snake. Hey, we're getting ready to see the Iron Sheik. And how about the Iron Sheik impersonation that Efren did? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh man. Efren can do an Iron Sheik, man. Efren's probably done an Iron Sheik. Hey, the Mean Gene's going to come here and say, ladies and gentlemen, 93,000 fans in attendance. This is a big announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all are part of history in the making here this afternoon for WrestleMania III. I have come to the Silver Dome, like you, to be part of this historic date, March the 29th, 1987. Thanks to our millions of fans all around the world, and a special thanks as we have established, all of us, a brand new indoor attendance record of 93,173. Give yourself a big hand.
93,173 here in the Silverdome, Pontiac, Michigan.
Let's hear it.
History has indeed been made.
Hell of a moment, man.
Yeah.
Even though that was not the real number, it was still a hell of a moment.
Without question.
Thank you for saying that.
I feel like we should also give a little context. What do you think you guys were doing?
In 87?
Yeah.
Good God. We hadn't done the Clash of the Champions yet. That started in 88. We were running, I don't know if the purchase of the Dallas office had that. It was during that year. We were just running, we were running TBS, running the South, running TV in Spartanburg and Greenwood, South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina. And they were going out and, we were going to places.
You want me to tell you what you were doing?
Yeah, please.
It's always fun for me to just sort of compare and contrast them, but you guys didn't run a show that day, but you did
this particular day, right?
Yeah, but you did run 2 shows. No, hang on. I was looking at the wrong day. Of course that happens to me now that we're recording.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times we ran double shots on Sundays.
You did run 2 shots.
Mm-hmm.
And here you're in Charlotte and you're in Asheville. One's a matinee. One's not.
It's usually Asheville is usually the matinee usually.
Here's, of course. So Asheville, you're at the Civic Center,
right?
Ricky Lee Jones, Brady Boone, Jimmy Valiant, Colt Steele, Bob Armstrong over Gary Royal, Ron Garvin over the Italian Stallion, who's subbing for Dennis Condrey, Bobby Jaggers and Dutch Mantell over Thunderfoot 1 and 2, who are subbing for the Mod Squad. The United States champion Nikita Koloff, Barry Windham, and Wahoo McDaniel would go over the television champion Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, and Lex Luger. Ric Flair would beat Brad Armstrong. Jimmy Jam Garvin would beat Bobby Eaton, and Ole Anderson would beat Big Bubba in a Louisville street fight. That night, you guys cruised up to Charlotte. Tim Horner beat George South. Jimmy Garvin beat Ricky Nelson. Lex and Arn beat Wahoo and Brad Armstrong. Ole defeated the TV champion Tully Blanchard by DQ. Ronnie Garvin beat Bobby Eaton in a lights out match. Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff and Ivan Koloff, would beat Ivan Koloff and Dick Murdoch by disqualification. Ric Flair would beat Barry Windham, which had to be a hell of a match. And then the NWA tag team champions, Rick Rude and Manny Fernandez, would beat Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson in your main event.
Wow. Rude and the Raging Bull tag team champions. Those were 8 matches in Charlotte that day. And that's kind of what they did in house shows. They would run like 5 matches, and then they would have an intermission. Then they would run what they would call a triple main event. Here come the Killer Bees, man. I don't even remember the Killer Bees weren't they an AWA tag team?
They were in the WWF. Watch your mouth.
I didn't. Well, I guess I remember Brunzell and Greg Gagne. And Brian Blair is Cauliflower Alley guy now, right?
That's right. By the way, you guys ran Detroit a lot later in the year. You ran it September 25th and drew 8,000. You came back on October 18th and you drew 1,000. And then you came back on December 26th. I don't know what you drew there, but it was Road Warrior Hawk winning a bunkhouse stampede match.
Ronnie Garvin won the world title there too in Detroit that year.
Yeah. In a steel cage, if I believe.
Right. That was right before Starrcast. So that was probably the October show.
No, September 25th. It was your debut at the venue.
Okay.
So when you're there with Ronnie Garvin challenging Ric Flair in a cage match, you draw 8,000. Mm-hmm. You come back a month later with Ronnie Garvin as champion, 1,000 folks.
Mm.
By the way, the next month in October, it would be Flair and Luger taking on Garvin and Dusty in your main event. So it seems like that would draw, right? I mean, Flair and Luger, big names, against Garvin, your champ, and Dusty Rhodes, big name.
Right.
1,000 motherfuckers.
Mm.
Can you imagine how empty Joe Louis looked with 1,000 people there too?
Wow. Oh, good God. It just showed you the difference in the companies. And, you know, you couldn't compete with Vince with a shoestring staff, if I can use that term, or a skeleton staff is what we had. We did not have a media relations person. We did not have a PR person. We didn't. They had me do some things at Jim Crockett Promotions, but they never gave me any guidance of what to do. It was just really run as a small-time operation. No way to compete.
I want to play a little bit of the WrestleMania III theme song, the Showcase of the Immortals. Can I do that?
Sure.
Just every now and again, you get kind of pissy.
No.
Nah, that ain't it. Fuck them.
That sounds like Alice Cooper.
It's not.
Okay. Meanwhile, the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov against the Killer Bees. Is that Duggan down the floor? Yeah, it's Duggan.
I wish it was over. Just fucking get out of here.
Yeah.
You know, can you imagine if you've sat here for this whole show and you really want to see Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant because your ass cheeks are going dead, but instead you got to sit through the Iron fucking Sheik and the Nikolai Volkov and the goddamn Killer Bees.
Yeah, it's one of those matches where they should have. Well, you know what? They had to buffer after that Steamboat match. They had to have a little bit of a buffer, so they had two matches prior to Hogan and Andre, which, as we now know, Dave Meltzer says a -4.5 star match. Has he ever given a match a lower number? A lower rating?
Oh, I'm sure. I think one of those triple cage matches, he gave like -37 stars or something.
Yeah. That one match that we had where, they tried to kill Hulkamania. Remember that one? Was that an uncensored?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where he fought like 30 guys and
it was uncensored 95.
Yeah. Right. We've covered that. That's in the archives.
That may have been 96. He gave, the Royal Family versus Clowns R Us at Survivor Series 94. He gave that -2.5 stars.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the one where,
Jerry Lawler was supposed to be in it?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, he was in it.
And then the midget chased him around the ring.
You got it.
Right.
Jake Roberts and Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 5 got -3 stars. I think he had like an anti-Andre bias.
Well, let me tell you something about the small guys, or the midgets, if you will, chasing Jerry Lawler around the ring. I watched, we were living at 94, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Living here in Georgia, in this house, we watched Survivor Series that night. And my young kids, that's 1994, my young kids loved those midgets chasing Lawler around the ring. They laughed and clapped. That was their favorite part of the whole show. So as much as he may have hated it as a pure wrestling match, kids loved it. I saw the reaction of my kids in that one.
I want to mention that Al Snow and Big Boss Man in a cage at Unforgiven 99 also got -3 stars. So did Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe in a evening gown match at King of the Ring 2000. That got -3 stars.
Well, yeah, you would give that -3 stars them just walking in the ring.
I like those guys. They're good guys.
Yeah, but an evening gown match?
Finley and Little Bastard versus Boogeyman and Little Boogeyman at No Way Out 07 got -3 stars. By the way, we need to watch that on Patreon. Ultimate Warrior Goldust at In Your House 7 got -3.5 stars.
Ooh.
Hulk Hogan and Andre here, of course, at WrestleMania 3 was -4 stars. Bushwhackers and Fabulous Rougeaus at WrestleMania 5, where the Bushwhackers jacked off one of the Rougeau brothers live on pay-per-view, got -4 stars. You remember that when they beat him off?
I was there, but I don't remember that happening.
Junkyard Dog and Moondog Spot on the Wrestling Classic got -5 stars.
I can imagine that.
And
Wow.
Mr. T and Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 2, -5 stars.
Well, there you go. So here we go. Regardless how many stars you want to give it or how many negative stars you want to give it, it's a match that everyone remembers. And I think and even Meltzer brought this up. I even think the standoff, and now they're showing the replay here of what this tag team match. I think the standoff between Hogan and Andre was one of the bigger moments. To me, it brought it made the match big. Does that make any sense to you when they're looking at each other and Hogan's looking up to see how big this guy really is? And this big guy is, and we're going to see it here in a minute. This big guy is not backing down at all from Hogan, and Hogan's looking around like, what have I got myself into? I just thought it was one of those moments that some non-action made it really big.
Here we go. Andre the Giant.
In the biggest title match of all time, I want to get your thoughts.
Gene, you'll see me now, and I'm going to the ring, and believe me, it's not going to take me too long to come back right in the front of the camera with the World Championship belt around my waist.
Bobby. Oh, I can feel it. Oh, the adrenaline's going. This man right here is going to make me famous. He's going to become the heavyweight champion of the world, and I'm going to go down the history books as the manager of the world's heavyweight champion. I'm ready. Hogan, you better be ready.
Boy, what a story leading up to this one. Here's two guys just who are almost brothers, you might say. And this is going to turn out to be literally a brother against brother inside. Let's take a look at some of the things leading up to this title match.
It was a good story leading up to this. Don't you think so?
It was. You know, the Piper's Pit segment is probably the most famous, but they're going way back to the beginning when Hogan first won the world title, January 24th, 1984 at Madison Square Garden. We're backstage and we see Andre giving a champagne bath to the new champion and, really helping him celebrate as Hogan's understanding for the first time what champagne in the eyes is really all about. And here we see King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd really giving Andre the business, and Hulk Hogan ducks out in a tuxedo. And here he is cleaning house, trying to save his brother Andre. And he's doing it again another time when they had him on Saturday night's main event, this time pinned in the ropes. They were tag team partners here, and you can see Andre is really, really out of shape here. But here we are on Piper's Pit, and this is where things would start to look a little different.
WF, I'd like to thank you for recognizing in my book the real champion of superstars all over the world. That's Andre. I will produce Andre the Giant right here next week. Can you produce Hogan?
You damn betcha, man. Look at me when I'm talking to you. I'm here for one reason. To challenge you for a world championship match in the WrestleMania.
Andre, please, no, it's not happening. We're friends. We're friends, Andre, please.
You can't believe it? Maybe you'll believe this, Hogan.
Andre, what are you doing, man? You can't leave like this, man. What are you doing, Andre?
Yes or no? Are you or are you not gonna fight him in WrestleMania 3 for the World Heavyweight Championship? Yes or no?
Yeah!
Man, everything about that is so classic. I love when Andre snatches the shirt. He also tears Hogan's cross, his gold cross off his neck, but his fingernail clips Hogan's chest and a little trickle of blood comes down. And it's a real classic moment where everything's sort of quiet for a minute. And Piper says, "You're bleeding." Here's the promo from right before Hulk Hogan. Here we go.
Pontiac, Michigan recovers, man. I'm glad I snuck in early last night, brother. I didn't realize the interstates, the Pontiac Silverdome was in danger. Not the 90,000 plus on the inside. It's the 90,000 plus on the outside of the Silverdome. Those are the ones I'm worried about, because when I get my hands on that big, nasty giant, when he faces the truth, when he feels the wrath of Hulkamania, the day the whole earth is going to shake, what are those 90,000 plus Hulkamaniacs on the outside going to think? I'm not worried about the people at the closed circuit. I'm not worried about the people all around the world. They'll see it. But the intensity of Hulkamania, the way it's turned this whole state upside down, the way the whole world's turned upside down, what are they gonna think when the giant hits the ground? He feels the wrath of Hulkamania, and the whole world shakes at my feet.
We could conceivably blow the roof off this great facility, the Silverdome. Right now, let's go back to the booth.
You know, that Piper's Pit where he asks Hulk Hogan, yes or no, are you going to face Andre the Giant at WrestleMania? I thought what sold that was that great reaction shot that they got of the fans when Hogan went yes, and the fans stood up and cheered.
Oh, it's great. But I loved just the over the top. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's so cartoonish, but so fun.
Sure it is. All right.
What a crazy show this is for us to go back and visit.
I know.
How did you watch this the first time? I mean, when it was live in '87. How did you see this?
Wow. You know what? I didn't see it.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't. I went back and I watched it when I went to work there in '89, and wanted to see it. Wanted to go back and watch it. And, you know, I spent hours upon hours going through the WWE, or back then, obviously, WWF library, looking at videotape, trying to figure out, you know, because we had to put together a match or a Coliseum video a month. Best of WrestleMania matches, the best of Hogan, who knows what all we put together. So I spent hours upon hours going back and looking through entire shows. And that was the first time I saw this. So I didn't watch it live, no.
What were you, what was the talk at Crockett when this happened? I mean, when you show up to, you know, the building or whatever, the next time you're in the office, you get everybody together. Next time you're around your compatriots, your coworkers, what are people saying about this?
Well, I think what I first remember is the interview day that we had the Wednesday after this happened, and all the boys were talking about how many fans they had, and you know, there was a certain feeling that, you know, this was obviously making wrestling big into the mainstream. But there was also a feeling that, you know, they didn't, with the exception of maybe Steamboat and Macho Man, that they didn't have a bunch of great workers. And we had the better workers. But we weren't drawing the big money like they were. And there was a realization, I think, with the boys that we were way behind. You know, for forever and a day, Ric Flair would do some promos in the back that would just be, I don't know if any of them ended up going out on all the shows on a nationwide level, but I did many promos where Ric Flair says, people are been trying to get out of New York for years, and I've been trying to get in. And we all knew what he meant.
I mean, do you think Crockett knew what he meant?
I know. I don't think Crockett was paying attention to it. I think it ended up being on local promos. Maybe Jackie saw it, but Jimmy Crockett wasn't back there, nor David was back there listening to what Flair said. And it wasn't on TV where Jimmy Crockett was. You know, when we taped TV and Flair would come out and do interviews, Jimmy was in the truck or David was in the truck, and they would see what happened. But those local promos where we just did one local promo after one local promo after one local promo, they never saw that. And I guess the word never got back to them.
How great is this entrance here? Iconic. All the trash coming in.
Yeah.
What about this outfit that Bobby's wearing?
Sharp.
Bobby has gone on record as saying that his payday from this show helped set him up for retirement.
Doesn't surprise me.
What was your biggest payday? Single show.
My biggest payday was $15,000. And that was for doing a video game.
Fucking A.
Yeah. That's after I did my first video game for EA Sports.
Yeah.
I got a check for $15,000, which was $5,000 more, and I made my first year in baseball. The entire year. Which I don't want to get into this too deeply here, and I like to get into this match a little bit more, but I know you, like all of us, saw or either saw or heard about the John Oliver thing about Vince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's cover it in a minute. First, let's enjoy this Hulk Hogan introduction.
Okay. My line, Jess. The fuck. So this stare down to me was, even though, Meltzer, I think we've already covered it. Meltzer didn't think there was much about it. I love this.
I agree. It's great stuff, man.
Yeah, it is great. Match may have not been the best, but it was great stuff. Hey, the only thing I want to say about the John Oliver thing is that as much as you may think that I'm bullshitting you here, I did not realize the boys weren't covered on insurance. I thought they were all covered now. So that kind of surprised me. So that's the only thing I want to say about that.
I mean, I think people want more than that now that you've teed it up here.
No, I was shocked. I thought they were covered, but I listen, it's hard. Well, look at this. And he almost beat him right there. 1, 2. Heenan thought he won it.
By the way, they would use that storyline for a long time because it was a slow count. It didn't look like he kicked out right away. It did look like if you actually count, he had him for 3.
Mm-hmm.
And they would use that as a reason to have rematches and, for their feud continuing, that it should have been over right then and there. But of course it wasn't.
Right. I think they got as much out of Andre as they could in this match. I really do, because of, how he was and how his health was at that time and his career was on the way down. So anyway, back to the John Oliver thing. They have trouble. They say the problems that football's having right now, more problems than anything else, is getting insured because of concussion syndrome and all of that. So maybe it's not easy to insure pro wrestlers anymore. I don't know, but I was surprised that they're uninsured.
I love the shot here. They would shoot Andre from below, shoot him up. It made him look even bigger.
Mm-hmm. Look at all the flash bulbs going off.
That's crazy. I was thinking about that when they were first, announcing everybody. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. It's funny, in the world that we lived in at that time in pro wrestling. On the inside, we talked about who is a great worker, and Hulk Hogan wasn't a great worker. But for somebody that a lot of people felt wasn't a great worker, how did this all happen?
Right.
You know, Bruce Pritchard said many times that Hulk Hogan, he told me this, that Hulk Hogan was the best worker in the business.
Yeah.
Why? Because he drew the most money.
Yeah. He says that, Hogan told him once, the best worker in the business is the guy who makes the most money. So that makes Vince the best worker and I'm the second best worker.
Right. And if you think about it, what drew this house, right? Hogan and Andre did.
Without question.
Thank you. So I just think that for all his lack of work, as they said, it was pretty damn cool. And Andre is moving slow and he can't do much of anything here.
Yeah, he's hurting.
Yeah, he is.
You ever hear Hogan's story about this match where he didn't know if he was going to win or not?
Oh yeah, that the fact that if Andre wanted to beat him, right?
Yeah.
Andre could have beat him. Yeah, I've heard that story. And he wasn't sure during the day that Andre was going to do the job, right?
That's right.
It's a great story. It really is. So I don't know what goes into Meltzer, and I'm making too much out of what Dave says here, I know, but what goes in for Meltzer calling the match a -4.5 star match? Is it the work rate? Is it the storyline that's building up to it? Is the finish? I don't know. I mean, what goes in?
He doesn't like slow, plodding, big man moves. He wants more action, less of a.
Okay, I get that. But the fans are into this, and they're into this.
Exactly right. I swear, I've always felt the same thing. Like, I heard an interview a long time ago with Michael Haynes when he was on Steve Austin's podcast, back when Steve was podcasting, and he said, "Man, the magic in wrestling is to get them to stand up and get them to sit back down." Mm-hmm. And you know, and once I really heard that and understood what he meant, now whenever I watch wrestling, especially when I'm live in the crowd, I look around and I see when people are standing up and then sitting back down, standing up and sitting back down. I mean, if they're not doing anything, then how much do you really have them? But when they're just going bananas, it's working. So
yeah,
I judge whether or not something's good or whether or not something's over based on how the crowd reacts. And if they're into it, then fuck it. It worked.
Sure. I think this whole storyline works. And when you got Andre the Giant at this age, and you don't expect him to flip and fly around like a Ricky Steamboat. But you're expecting a guy that, you know, Hogan's always gone after the big guys, and this is the biggest one he's had to face. I like the whole storyline behind this. I really do. Now, here's the bear hug. Hogan doing a great job of selling it. Now you see, Conrad, you get the bone of the forearms. You get it under those floating ribs there, and you pull up, and you force the air out of the lungs, and you compact those ribs, and you pull in on the spine. It's so painful. Hogan, with his feet, trying to gather some balance and keep the leverage off the spine, but he can't do it because Andre is so big and so strong. And the lights just went out on that side. So see, you can make it believable. You really can.
It was too long of a bear hug, though.
Yeah, but I don't know what's the proper length for a bear hug. I don't know.
Fuck off with that.
I don't know what's the proper length for a bear hug. Is it 2 minutes? Is it 30 seconds?
Let's call Lois and ask her how long she likes it. Did I send you that funny meme of a farmer this week?
No, you didn't. You still haven't sent me the number. You still haven't sent me the number of our after party person either.
Well, it's not how you think it is.
It's not?
No.
Well, I'm disappointed now. I was excited at one time, but I'm disappointed now.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
You don't think?
I don't know.
So the funny meme I know I'm going to hell for this, but it's just hilarious to me. Well, maybe I'm not.
Yeah, you've listen. You've been headed there a long time ago.
Yeah. Just a picture of a farmer standing in a field, got his farmer outfit on like he likes it. And above him it says, "When you nut in under 2 minutes," and she asks, "Is that it?" You see the picture of the farmer in the field, got his hat like he likes it, his overalls, his flannel shirt. And then underneath him, it says, "It ain't much, but it's honest work." It is the most Tony Schiavone meme ever. It murdered me. Cause I can just imagine you climbing off some poor girl.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And you hit her with, "It ain't much, but it's honest work."
Climbing off some poor girl.
After the after party, you're like, "Conrad said I got to get somebody pregnant."
Oh God.
How is that so funny to me?
Okay. So they just broke the,
yeah, I fell asleep.
No, it was okay. He fought himself out, man. Look, Andre the Giant's got you in a bear hug, man. Biggest guy in wrestling.
Let me be clear. I love Hulk Hogan. He can do no wrong. Okay. I know that doesn't make me popular, but I'll defend it. I don't give a shit. I was a little Hulkamaniac when I was a kid. Sure. I'm not talking about Terry Bollea. I'm not talking about any of the bullshit reasons you don't like Hulk Hogan. Right. Hulk Hogan is the reason I was a wrestling fan. So he'll always be like He-Man and G.I. Joe to me.
Sure.
And I was never an Andre guy, but my great friend, Mr. Cole Kubelik, he is a huge Andre fan, which I don't really get. I don't understand how anybody's really an Andre guy.
Well, Cole's an Auburn guy too, isn't he? Didn't he play at Auburn?
Yeah. So he ain't got a taste for shit.
No, he doesn't. He's a fucking cheater.
In fairness, he went to Auburn because they gave him a scholarship. Just like you're a Bulldog because they pay you. But if they quit paying you, magically you like the Bulldogs a little less. You can be quiet on that. We know the truth.
So you were talking about Cole Kubelik, and all of a sudden it came back to me for some ungodly reason.
Of course.
So he's always an Andre Giant fan?
Yeah.
Cole was, yeah. There you go. Pull it out, so to speak.
Can you imagine if he gave him a package pile driver right there on the concrete? That's what I needed. Oh,
that was pretty shitty.
Oh my God. Here we are saying, why was Meltzer so mean? And then you see that and you're like, oh, okay. That's why. I understand.
Right.
This is our bad.
Dave, you're right.
We're sorry.
Minus 4.5.
Fuck. No, but here's what I want to happen. I want Hogan to get Andre out on the apron and give him a pile driver on the apron. Maybe you could pick him up and do a power bomb into the turnbuckles. Drag him over to the post and do a figure 4 around the ring post.
Look at the fans go fucking nuts when he hulks up.
You know what they're looking for. They're ready for that Meltzer driver. They need Brother Ruda to come hold him, and then Hogan will do a flippity do, spike his ass.
Here he comes. Flash bulbs, people standing.
Here we go.
There it is. Holy shit.
Look at the flash bulbs.
Yeah. Look at, and just a slam and the leg drop.
Here's what's crazy to me about that. Don't you just assume with Hulk Hogan that you're going to get the standard throw a punch, block it, throw a punch, into the ropes, big boot, leg drop?
Yeah.
But instead it was just body slam, leg drop.
Right.
But that was the body drop or the body slam that, I mean, it's probably the most famous body slam ever. Is it not?
Oh, without question. Now they've got Bob Uecker in the ring. Did Uecker interview him after? Yeah.
Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion, Hulk Hogan.
Listen to the
Just introed him, okay? Sure, everybody gets out of the ring. That was one thing he did. Everyone got out of the ring because it was Hulk's domain.
Hogan must pose.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to do a fair amount of it. Meltzer would write, strictly from wrestling standpoint, as big shows go, this doesn't rank near the top. Last year's WrestleMania, while not nearly as successful financially and in many ways a worse promotion, actually provided more good matches. The Bulldogs match with Valentine Beefcake was almost good as this show's Savage Steamboat highlight. However, the Funk's match with JYD and Santana was better than Piper Adonis, and Steamboat Hernandez was also better than almost anything on the show. It really can't touch the Starrcade show for action, except for possibly the 84 show. As for Texas Stadium's original show in 84 with Flair and Kerry Von Erich title change, while this show did not have the emotion as a product, it was infinitely better, and the wrestling was much better as well. So what's next? Well, Roddy Piper will be gone for a while. Andre and Junk Food appear to be history as well, and judging by their performances, none too soon. Adonis and Beefcake is the obvious feud, and my guess is it will be disappointing. Adrian didn't draw well with Piper, so how can they expect too much with Beefcake? Maybe Duggan versus Sheik or Volkov. Anything higher than fourth from the top, and that won't help. Valentine and Bravo versus the Rougeaus, strictly prelim material. Jake and Honky Tonk, they did a good job of keeping it alive, but I don't see it as headline material because I don't think people take Honky Tonk Man as a main eventer. Haynes and Hernandez, obviously they'll continue. Maybe they'll hit the chain match series this spring. Bulldogs and Hart Foundation, too many intangibles to worry about here, but no matter what, it ain't main event material. Reed and Santana, certainly not. So he's just running down why everything sucks and nothing can be a main event moving forward. But, you know, in the end, it drew huge business. He would say the only headline feud I see is Savage versus Steamboat, and it has already peaked. And Hogan versus anyone. It's almost like in sports vernacular, it's a rebuilding season. They've got a month off to get it off the ground.
Yikes. He was just completely shitting on everything here. Yeah, you're right. He had a hard on for Vince and the WWF and Hogan. And you know, for some of the fans, this part of it, this posing and
that's what they want.
That's right. That's exactly right. This was the big deal.
By the way, they didn't run anything until April 23rd, and that was a TV taping in Worcester, Mass. And the 24th, they did a taping in New Haven. And regular house show started the next day in Buffalo and Baltimore. And then they did a Saturday night's main event in South Bend, Indiana, in April 28th. So they took nearly a month off, 3 weeks and change. Pretty cool of them to do that.
Well, they were all the boys were lavishing in the big payday too. Did you ever hear any numbers of paydays? What any number anybody got for this? You mentioned that Heenan, made his retirement on this one payday. Do you ever hear any numbers?
We need to do some research on that.
Yeah. Be interesting to see what the payday was.
I know that Jake has said that there were boxes of cash from the merchandise. Like the merch guys literally just had like big boxes just filled to the brim with cash.
Yeah.
Just from the merch.
And I'm sure most of them were the yellow and the red.
By the way, it's worth mentioning Hulk Hogan still has that title in his hand. You can see it at his beach shop in Florida. You should go see it. He signed the front of it, which I maybe wouldn't have done. I love that they jack up the, his platform so fans can see him a little more and get some pictures. It's still sort of in vogue for some fans to throw trash, even at Hogan.
I slammed him, he says, as he drifts out of sight.
But let's also say the Giant was ready and gave it one hell of a try.
He certainly was. Early on in the match, it looked like that Andre was going to put away with ease the World's Heavyweight Champion.
That's right. There you see the replay right there. Boom. There's the body slam of 525 pounds. Hogan then hitting the ropes, coming off with the big leg drop, drops the leg, stuns the Giant enough. 1, 2, and 3. It's over. The champion stays the champion. No doubt.
I think that reaction of the fans on that replay when he picked him up and slammed him says it all, doesn't it?
It does. You know, no matter what people thought of the quote unquote work rate, the fans were into it. And if the paying customer is digging it, they'll buy more of it. And
right.
We hope that you guys will continue to buy what we're selling here, which is two buddies watching wrestling and having a little yuck in between. The talking heads are going to wrap us up here, and they'll probably show a replay, but for all intents and purposes, that's the end of WrestleMania 3. And I wish I had that WrestleMania 3 t-shirt, and I wish you had that red blazer and bow tie.
God bless Gorilla Monsoon, one of the great men in wrestling. I miss him.
Without question. And
yeah,
Tony, I can't help but feel like as I look at my clock that it's about that time.
It is about that time, ladies and gentlemen. And now WrestleMania 3 is in the rearview mirror. And now we have to wonder what is left for Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson to talk about in the weeks to come. Will they watch more WrestleManias? Will they sit down and watch 8 hours of a WrestleMania and watch it with you? The answer to that is fuck no, we won't do that. But we will come back next week with more What Happened When, because we're on the MLW Radio Network and we come to you each and every week on Monday on
Patron.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Oh yeah, everybody talking about BucksandGimmicks.com. Yeah, with new items each week. Yeah. The official store of What Happened When, 83 weeks, yeah, something to wrestle with, yeah, so go on, log on with your computer, get on there and click your mouse, yeah, use your iPhone, yeah, get your gimmicks, and buy patreon.com/WHW Monday, yeah, wanna be a low-key big hog, yeah, or a glass-bottom boat raider, yeah. How about a member of the Hot Tag Express? Yeah, come on, tag me in, let's go, yeah. How about Slapdick Nation? Yeah, Slapdicks, yeah, chock full of too many of them, yeah. No, but we want more, yeah. Join Conrad Thompson, Tony Schiavone, yeah, my main man, yeah, the Big T, Big Tone, yeah, with bonus podcasts, behind the scenes videos, yeah, live weekly chats, and other shit that Tony's thinking of, yeah, 'cause he's smart, yeah. Big T, my man, thinking ahead, yeah. And by LoisRules.com, yeah. Everybody loves Lois Schiavone, and she's selling t-shirts. You log on to that website, she'll bring you a t-shirt, yeah. Maybe Tony will call you. But just put Lois on, you want to talk to her anyway, yeah. LoisRules.com. And by What Happened When, yeah, live in St. Louis, yeah, where the Redbirds play, yeah, get some reps, yeah, St. Louis styles, Saturday, June 22nd at 9 p.m., yeah, off-Broadway, yeah, tickets available at etickets.com, ETIX.com, yeah, and don't forget, know What Happened When live, Baltimore, Sunday, June 23rd at noon. Jimmy's Famous Seafood. Been there? Yeah. Get some crab cakes. Put a little Old Bay on it. Yeah. Eat them up. Yeah. They're delicious. Yeah. So what you're gonna do? Yeah. Get your ass to Baltimore. Yeah. Go to Jimmy's Famous Seafood. Yeah. At noon. Yeah. Get some crab cakes. Yeah. Go out. Check out my main man T. And get your tickets at Jimmy'sFamousSeafood.com. Yeah.